outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need.
Oh,
Vitamin G. Got
All
what you need.
alone.
hi man.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside
Got what you need.
looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. crowd coming, man. Tryna run the town. Tell 'em no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now. Mad struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We live a life making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane, catching them doors on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Was like jacked up. All right.
We're podcasting and
All right. All right. We're good now. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 240 of the Vitamin G podcast. This is your host Pharaoh, and this is my third time introducing myself. With me today so far, I have Kofi, who we have not seen in quite a long time. Welcome back to the show, and Omar. So I guess we'll start with Kofi. How you been, man? Long time no see.
Yeah.
On the show at least. How you been, man? What you been playing?
I've been really well. A lot of my free time has been spent gaming, and so
Okay.
even though that is true, it still hasn't been a lot. It's been increasing over the last few weeks, last 3 or 4 weeks. So it's really a lot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and a lot of Stellar Blade. I still have a lot of thoughts and expressions on both of these games. I'm still gonna keep the jury out. I will say that I'm thoroughly enjoying Rebirth, and I have most of my timeline or social media blocked of any sort of influence of the game. I just haven't seen anything. So almost everything I have experienced is completely, fresh set of eyes, and I think has made it more special. I'll just say, for people who have played the original PlayStation 1 game or know of me, Vincent Valentine is probably my favorite fictional game character ever.
Okay.
Even though Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite Final Fantasy. So it is certainly a special game to see not only Vincent, but all the other characters get a spotlight and get some thorough explanations that were not present in the original game. So
Okay.
I know you guys have probably already discussed at length this game, so I won't take much
Actually,
longer.
actually, we haven't because me and Omar are the only ones that really finished the game
Okay.
on the panel, so we haven't really talked about it in depth. But you made it to Nibelheim, right?
Correct. So
Have you
well, I'll say chapter 11 without saying much more.
have
If you're
you
curious
have you
where
come?
I'll say exactly where I am so you don't spoil me.
Okay.
It is right when Wu Tai is revealing information about Shinra. And I guess I'll try to leave it there. I think you guys know where that moment is at.
So not quite. So you finished you finished Shimmer Manor.
Yes, I just left the manor.
Okay, and then so you have the
I'm
opportunity.
looking to find Sid.
You have the opportunity to go back to the airstrip. Okay.
Correct.
You've completed the chapter then. All that's left is side quests in that region.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Side quest.
You completed the chapter. It ain't nothing for me to spoil. But one thing that we have talked about in the show regarding Nibelheim is that I've said that that's like literally Cloud's most badass chapter.
Interesting.
And the reason I say that is just because of the waves of bosses that he fought in that chapter. You gotta think about it. Like, he climbs all the way up a mountain, fights a boss, climbs all the way down a mountain, fights a dude that has been transformed into a weapon, and then he leaves the mansion and immediately has to fight a soldier first class who has been souped up by even further by Hojo.
Yeah,
That was probably
this one could be a run ender. You know why? Because they don't allow you to what you call it, to farm, to do anything. After the previous boss fight, you must fight the next boss immediately. You
Yeah.
can heal.
As Cloud, yeah,
Heal and
yes,
buy stuff.
yeah, as Cloud, yeah. But that's a to me that's Cloud's most badass chapter because he like from a physical aspect of thinking about what he actually had to do, climb all the way up a mountain, climb all the way down a mountain, like really no break because they have to hurry up and get down because they see that the I guess what was he the Nibelheim mayor was killed, so he has to rush back down the mountain. He really doesn't get any break on top of like having like multiple like PTSD episodes.
That's true.
And then yeah, so that was probably his most like badass chapter.
Yeah, everything that he overcame is basically, superhero level stuff, I think, and I didn't even think about that at the moment, but I think that rings really true.
Yeah.
And this is a lot that has happened in the game. I did not expect this much stuff to just be in the game, and
Yeah, you before the game came out, you were expecting it to not have everything in there. You were expecting it to be like way toned down.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right,
And
appreciate
to be
that,
honest,
Yobi.
I'm shocked to do that in 4 years, but I'll move on for the next person.
All right. Our we're gonna go in the order that you guys came into to the show today. So, Omar, how you been? What you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing a few games.
1 second.
I finished a few games. To begin with, I finished um Astalon, Astalon Tears of the Earth. It's It's like old school Metrovania-esque, but with Zelda gameplay mechanic. It's actually very interesting.
What's it called again?
Astalon,
Oh, yes, I saw that one on the.
Tears of yeah, I've always seen it on PlayStation, but I never picked it up. I had no idea it's gonna be this good. I recommend it. The only thing I don't recommend is if you want to get for the plot to go for the plot or the best ending, you gotta look up. You gotta finish the entire game 100%, which it can be fun if not for certain areas being so obscure. And if I'm only missing one key and I have no idea where to look for, and it's frustrating. So I just end up watching the what you call it, the best ending on YouTube because
Mm,
I already beat the boss and it's literally the same thing. It's not like there is a secret boss or whatsoever. Um, it says it's part two, which is confusing. If I'm missing part one elsewhere. Other than that, I played Biogun, another Metrovania. This one, you're a dog with a gun. It and you're actually in a dog anatomy. It's super interesting because I've never played something like this. Where yeah, you're literally in a human, not a human, in a animal anatomy and trying to rescue an animal from death, which again super interesting, super fun to play. It doesn't have a lot of platforming. It's way more bullet helly, but highly recommend it. And the next game that I played, which I and this is my opinion, people gonna have their own opinion about it. I believe this game have regret gaming for me, and
regressed?
that was Hellblade 2. Playing Hellblade 2 was such a disgrace from Hellblade 1. It's not even funny. Between the simplistic that is the combat, that you would think they would have upped it an ante because they said they're gonna do so. But instead, we get literally a one-on-one combat that's boring at best, simplistic at worst. And mind you, I played this game unharmed without parry and blocking. Like, I was so like, does this game have a charm? Absolutely. This game could have easily been a 90 on my score. What is it missing? First of all, a story. The story is so half baked, it's not even funny. Like, something happened with the development of this game, cause the story is just missing story. Other than that, the visuals, uh, yeah, you don't go to a lot of biomes, but when you go to a certain biome, they look amazing. But the rest is just rock. I'm like, why are you so fixated on creating so much quote unquote beautiful rock? Like, make the areas more versatile. But instead, it's all rock. And another thing, and I can't stress this enough that even the developers knew this was wrong. The way you run in the game, as of you're literally handcuffed and are wearing 100 kilo iron on your leg. Like, why are you killing off running only until in certain areas in the game. Then you can see her actual running. Now for the good side, good part, which, believe it or not, there are amazing voice acting, some of the best, top notch. Um, Music was very lackluster. There was not a lot of music to begin with. When it starts, sometimes it's amazing, but other than that, there is hardly ever music. Um, the interaction between Senwa and her quote unquote companionship, um, they're good. It's just they lack any sense of substance. Like, why am I friends with them? Why are these people friends with each other when they've been at war with each other for so long? Like, it just feels, the story feels unfinished. Um, but the interaction between Senwa and her voices is great. And another thing, some of the best thing I've played is when you kill an enemy, the way they switch to a different enemy is so cool, it's so cinematic. Yes, over time you've seen it all, but it's still cool, and it makes you wish that you can pick up a shield or use the fire that Senwa is using against the enemy. So yeah, it's frustrating that the game is like that. But yeah, also I'm playing V Rising right now. It's such an amazing game. It's a vampire game with so much freedom. It's like Metrovania-esque with
Nappy, you
open
got some
world.
background noise.
Me?
Oh,
Nappy.
Oh.
my fault.
It also have great combat. Like, I'm loving the combat. But one of the worst aspects of it for me is the building. And you can't progress if you don't build. So it is 4-player co-op, I think. You can play with 4-player co-op or even more. And it's on PC, on PlayStation. I'm not sure about Xbox, but I would assume it is as well. And I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's about me.
Okay. I don't think Hellblade 2 was held back. They got as much development time as they wanted. They just made the exact game they wanted to make.
No, they don't. Because they literally said they hired people that were gonna work on the combat, and we don't see any
The
single thing that
we,
improved on the combat.
we do. It's a lot more visceral. It's a
No,
lot more. It's a lot more heavy and realistic than the first game as far as how the characters feel. The combat feels a lot more brutal. I think when they were talking about combat improvements, I don't think they were talking about from a controller perspective. They're talking about what you see on the screen and how heavy and visceral the fights feel and look. Like the present, they're talking about the presentation. You were expecting improved gameplay mechanics, but they weren't talking about gameplay mechanics. You can see the improvements in combat and how heavy and the weightiness of the combat. Like every strike definitely has a feeling to it. So that's my perception from what they said and how the game came out, is that they were focused on we want the when these swords hit, we want it to feel like this. When she's fighting an enemy that's clearly stronger than her, we want it to feel like, like that's the case. And that's where all that money and development went into. It didn't go into
the money went to the rocks. That's it.
no,
And
they
that's
they
the
they
visual.
they got a brand new studio. They got brand new motion capture, and yeah, they invested a lot in the visual. It was built to be a cinematic psychological horror. That's what they went for, and that's what you got. You don't have to like it, but they got 6+ years of development time and all the money that they wanted. They built the game that they wanted to build.
I have a question about that. So I just want to lay out some parts because I do want to make an argument. One, I'm a big fan of the studio. Two, I purchased Hellblade 2. I've not played it.
Okay.
So I guess I have more negative thoughts. I'm curious what Pharaoh or Omar think about this, or Nappy or Jube if you guys have played it. That apparently the 2019 premiere that we saw at the Xbox Series X reveal was spoken to by developer leadership, and during this interview, he mentioned that at the time of that video, which was I guess 4 years ago.
No, it was 20. It was the year before It was like a year and a half before the console came out. So that's like what, 2018? 2018, right? The console's launched. The console's launched in
2019.
Okay, all right. I was making sure.
December 2019.
All right, I was just trying to figure out when the console's launched in 2020 or 2019.
2020, but in December 2019, we were at Jeff Keighley's show.
Yeah. Okay.
We saw the announcement of that game for the first time. We did not know if they were going to be, releasing a sequel. We did not know what an Xbox Series X would look like or what it was going to be called. And he mentioned in this interview, this happened maybe a week and a half ago, that development had not started.
Yep.
At that point. So the 6 years that I believe they were owed, like you just said, Pharaoh, I believe they deserve 6 years. But they were not developing when that video was released. And that makes me think, if you're adding a new engine and new hardware, 4 years is difficult if you're trying to build on what was already made. Now, if you were staying with the old engine, it would be easier. But I believe, like I think all of us, that tech should move forward. And I understand and respect that they said, we want to use the new Unreal Engine because gaming is forward-looking. And I will never knock them for that. But from what I've seen, have not played it, that window of time could have been longer and could have really fleshed out some things that are being criticized for gameplay. But that's just my thought. Because when you said 6 years, Pharaoh, I think maybe if they had 6 years, this game would be a little bit less criticized for gameplay.
It would be more than 5 hours, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, because the first game was only 4 or 5 hours. That's not a guarantee that the game would be any longer.
Another thing I just want to say on top of that, Pharaoh, we've been in the industry as consumers for a long time. And we know often when videos of games are released before development starts, it does not end well. It does not end well. So I'm a little bit salty after we have so much evidence of that not being successful, that leadership overall, whether it was Microsoft or Xbox, allowed that process to show again. Let's show a video for the game, but you guys have not gotten down and actually showed anything that runs. And I wish it was the other way around because of the experiences we've had in the past. What, name a game, right? PlayStation's done it, right? Killzone 2, we could throw them under the bus. We've seen this, but now it's still being repeated. So that's disappointing.
Okay, but the large perception of the game is positive. So we can't say it hasn't gone well for them. I mean, we could say that there's some polarizing aspects to the game.
Interesting.
But largely, it reviewed pretty well. I think it reviewed the same as the original game as far as Metascore goes. I think it has nearly identical score. And as far as like Steam and user reviews and all that, those are overwhelmingly positive. So I mean, I'm sure that is it polarizing as the first one? Yeah, I'd say that for sure.
So even though
I can't say it didn't work out for him though.
You can't say it didn't work out. So even though You just mentioned 6 years of development time. Now you know it's 4.
Okay.
It doesn't give you any sort of inkling of this could have been done better. You just said 6.
I did just say 6. It could have been
Right.
could have been done better. I don't know, because I can't say they were rushed. I can't say they were forced to put the game out the door before it was ready.
But you don't agree with the strategy that I just described. None of us do. Nobody on this panel says show a video of a game before they start development. Per his interview.
So,
I mean,
look,
I
Nobody agrees with this.
mean,
I'm
so-
gonna defend them on this for one simple reason. When they show development like this, CGI trailer like this, they're doing it to get people to join them.
all right. So
That's why.
the whole thing was showing games before the development's really cooking. Hold on.
Wow.
So hold on one second. Continue without me for one moment.
Nappy, I think. I'm sorry, not Nappy. Omar, I think you were trying to say something.
Yeah, so I said that when they do something like this, show a game way early or use CGI for it, they're doing it to show almost like tell not us, the consumer, but developers on the idea so they
So-
can join them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back. But
Welcome back.
what I was gonna say is that in the case of Xbox and showing games, but before they're clearly rocking and rolling in development, I think. Oh my god. Go. So in terms of Xbox, that whole what was it, 2019 or 2020 showcase, almost none of them games were really in development that they showed, whether it be State of Decay 3, Everwild, Perfect Dark. None of them games are really rocking and rolling yet, and I think that's why the Xbox Game Studio side of the house, we haven't really gotten a ton from them this generation. It looks like this particular showcase is going to be our first glance at a lot of Xbox Game Studios games. Bethesda has been the main supplier of Xbox's catalog since this generation has kicked off, if we're being completely honest. What we got: Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport, Gears High Busters, Flight Simulator. Am I missing anything, Jubei? This gen that we've gotten from Xbox Game Studios?
No, you're
Hi,
not.
Rush.
Hi-Fi? Yeah.
That's not Xbox Game Studios. That's Bethesda.
It's okay. There's
Yeah.
a difference. You're correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as from Xbox Game Studios, those
Sea of
are
Thieves?
Sea of Thieves came out in 2015.
Dang, it's almost
It was
10 years
17,
old.
wasn't it?
It launched with it launched with Game Pass. So the day that Game Pass came out is the day that Sea of
That's
Thieves came out.
2017.
Okay, well,
2017.
2017. So, yeah. So we officially grounded release this generation, I guess. So I guess you could, say that with a City and Pentiment. Most of the studios that they've acquired, before they started buying publishers, most of those studios haven't produced a game this generation. I know you got Wasteland 3 from Exile and Bleeding Edge, Hellblade 2. What else? I think that's it. Outer Wilds was after Double Fine did Psychonauts 2. And so yeah, it's they were behind the 8 ball when they purchased those studios. And I think that's why you had this publisher thing happen that we saw, and that we're continuing to see because I don't think they're done yet. So, but yeah, that would be my answer to you on that question, and showing games before development's even really rocking and rolling. Because if development was rocking and rolling, we would have had most of those games by now, even with the pandemic. But yeah.
I don't think it would have been as bad if the pandemic didn't happen, though. But
yeah, I don't think it would have been as bad, but we would have. But if they were actively like rocking and rolling in development, we would have had a couple more of those games by now. But yeah, with that said, Jubei, I guess we might not make it to what's on your mind.
We are. I'll keep mine short.
How you been doing? What you been playing?
I've been doing well. Still playing a shit ton of Madden and Yu-Gi-Oh! I just had the last achievement for Master Duel. So
okay, congrats. And last but not least, Nappy, what you been up to? What you been playing? How you been?
I've been doing good. If you guys haven't noticed on my personal YouTube channel, I've already put out 2 reviews for the Rainbow 2 controller that was made by Big 1, and I did my first mobile controller review, which is the GameSir X2 controller. So this is my very first mobile controller, and I was like, since I got a bunch of mobile controllers I'm reviewing now, sure, let's get started with the very first one I own. As far as games, playing Helldivers 2, I have been diving into the emulation world, so I've now been seeing how to emulate 3DS games, and I am successful. This is Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, the 3DS game, on my Razer Edge.
Nintendo about to come for us.
Nah, hey, it's not on the market no more.
They don't care.
Okay, so if I blink out there in the stream, you guys know what happened to me. Yeah, got into that, and also I've been playing a lot of old Flash games. Thing 3 and 4, Super Smash Flash 2 with the version 1.3 with all the cool mods and stuff. So yeah, it's been a cool time. And Helldivers 2.
Okay. Got your PSN account linked?
I'll say that for a discussion because that's actually something. It's part of the showcase.
We're gonna have a big discussion about PlayStation. That you'll have time to talk about everything regarding them when we get to state of play reactions. But
yes.
So those are our intros. Anything that is not topic related, Omar kind of jumped the gun.
I did. Sorry about that.
Yeah. But anybody, what's on your mind? Since we only got 2 topics today, anything gaming related?
Anything gaming related?
Want to bring to the table?
I don't got much of anything. I saw Killing Floor 3 is about to come out soon. They now got it where you can wishlist it on Steam. So excited for that. Me and my friends revisit Killing Floor 2. Good little fun little PvE game.
Oh, one thing I will throw out there is that all of our favorite JRPG developer from these last 20 years, Level 5. I wasn't here when it officially launched, but about a month ago, they did release in the West Megaton Musashi, which is like their mech anime / action RPG that had been out.
I saw that on Steam, actually.
Oh, listen, I just wanted to say, because I don't think it got enough talk, and sorry I wasn't here like a month ago when this released. This game is 3 sagas, and the first 2 sagas had an anime that aired in Japan. This game / story is one of the biggest feel-good experiences I've had playing an action RPG ever.
So what's the game again?
It's called Megaton Musashi.
Oh yeah, you already we did talk about this.
Yeah,
game on the show.
but it's out in the West. Yeah, it's out in the
Yeah.
West, and the first 2 arcs were basically in a free version in Japan since 2020.
Okay.
Now there is a third and final arc to the game, and so I have not played it yet because I haven't bought it. But if you want to like play a game that reminds you of the PS1 era, where there's these huge like 20-minute animations that tell story, this is the game for you. And so I know I will be returning to this game. I just don't know when Megaton Musashi will be on my plate. But
join in?
Hey,
Is
Ken?
it,
I'm
is
sorry.
it gentle to newcomers?
what do you say, Omar?
Can anyone join in? Is it gentle to newcomers? Because I have never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the entire game can be played solo, and then every single mission can be returned to with higher difficulty in co-op. And it can be played up to 3 players. There are
I'm talking
tons.
about.
No, he's not talking about like
Oh.
difficulty. He's talking about like is
The story.
as like coming into it. Like, am I going to be lost jumping into this title for the first
Yeah.
time?
Got
I
it.
never heard
So
of it.
this title is from beginning to end. There's no prequel. It is 3 individual chapters, all of which are like 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of grinding in between, but yeah, it does include the original 2020 chapter and then a chapter they added in 2022.
Okay.
And then so the
Interesting.
2024 is the final arc. So yeah.
Also got also it's online PvP, online
Yes.
co-op, cross-platform multiplayer.
Yes, and so this version is called
interesting.
Megaton Musashi Wired, and their
Yes.
concept is that everybody is connected this time, as opposed to like Switch playing alone and PS playing alone. So, yeah, really, really cool game. Like,
So
if you love level 5, this is the game that you want to check out.
So it's a Switch game. It can run on a potato. You have no excuse not to play it on
And
your
it's like $40
on your platform of
Yeah,
choice.
it's $49.99 on Steam right now. I do have one more question about the game.
Mhm.
I do see a lot of DLC, which looks like a lot of armor packs, a lot of cosmetics, except for who's V Navigator Dragon, V Navigator Jubine, and V Navigator Prona Inguma.
So
They're
there are various mech related animes that they added skins for to the game. Some of those that you're looking at might have not even been in the versions I played, because they added this one. This is one popular mech anime. It's not like Robotech. It wasn't as popular, but it's like it kind of looks like Voltron, and he was added to the 2002 update. But I had never watched the anime myself, so I just could tell like, oh, that's like copying the skin of that. So my guess is you're looking at some other like niche mech anime that they migrated to Megaton Musashi.
I also looking at the deluxe upgrade, and damn, this game really does run on potato. GTX 650 Ti. Oh my god, that GPU is not even in 2010s. That's before
Yeah.
then.
I mean, shoot, this game was
Jesus,
free for a while.
This game will definitely run on potato. But man, it looks pretty interesting. Limited edition Rogue Comer Delta certified. Okay, well, I do have this on my wish list. I was looking at this game, and the game is sitting on mostly positive reviews. Very positive reviews, overall reviews, and recent reviews are mostly positive, which is a good setup for this game.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have a what's on their mind?
Congratulations to PlayStation. They're now going day and date. This is how many years now? They've chosen not to do so.
They literally are going day and date outside of 2 games. Like, so
No.
yes, everything was day and date outside of 2 games.
Dude, their single player games they're not going day and date with.
But they're mostly making live service games. So if they're
multiplayer games, they are gonna go day and date.
okay, and that's mostly that's their focus at the moment. So
What
so
I'm saying is the majority of their catalog going forward is going to be a lot of live service games, which will be day and date.
So I mean, it's so like what's the argument that you're presenting is what I'm kind of saying. Like when most of their games are going day and date outside of a select few, and I'm sure once they catch up on the old games, that even everything will probably start going day and date at that point. Once they catch up on everything, I mean, they have a whole catalog. They're a little bit behind as far as those games, so they're bringing a lot of older games. They even announced some new titles that what is it? Until Dawn, which is a single player narrative driven game. That's going day and date on PC, and there was one other title.
Yeah, that's a remaster.
Okay, it's still going day and date. It's a remake. It's going day and date. Y'all can make whatever excuse y'all want. It's a day and date narrative title on PC. I mean, so
Single player games are not going day and date.
but Until Dawn literally, that's what they said. But then the next day, Until Dawn is. So it's either if one of them do it, then eventually all of them do it. It's a case of them laying the blow softly so that they do not take media backlash. Something that Xbox hasn't learned to do. So Xbox will just tell you what it is, and then they'll deal with all this media backlash and all these topics coming out about, oh, Xbox, why are you doing this for, months and months, and people talking about the future of Xbox. Meanwhile, I mean, Sony has always done this. Even with the whole DRM thing years ago, when Xbox first announced it, and PlayStation literally was going to have the exact same DRM policies, they saw the reaction and then they walked it back. So that's literally all it is. They are masters of laying the blow softly. That's all it is. They told you one thing, and then the very next day they did something different. So, and it's easy to say that Wolverine and Death Stranding 2 won't be there now because neither of those games even have a release date. So they can say that now, and then 2 years from now change their mind. It's business. They're very capable of doing that. So, I don't get how that's a thing to celebrate. Like, they literally showed you what, 7 games going to PC day and date on a slide, and 2 that weren't. Let's see.
Yeah. That happened.
Yeah, let me do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 going to PC day and date. Then they had Ghost of Tsushima going to PC. And then they had 2 exclusive games to PlayStation 5, which were Wolverine and Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
So
Wolverine is not even out yet. Nor Death Stranding 2.
But no, but all right. So the same presentation that you're talking about, where they said they wouldn't go day and date with narrative-driven games, there was a slide that went along with that conversation. And on that slide, they showed the games that were in schedule to be released. All right? And on that slide, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Of those 8 games, 6 were going to PC. 2 were...
I will say this: Path of Exile is actually a PC game going to PlayStation.
What's the list that they showed? The list that they showed was Marathon, Fair Games, MLB the Show, Concord, Destiny 2: The Final Shape, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding 2, and Wolverine. All
of those games have all of those games that have already had some sort of intellectual property released on PC have healthy economies on PC where there's a community that will play them. So
not all of them. Some are new IP.
Okay, yeah, Marathon's new, Concord's new,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily know if I'm necessarily celebrating it, but I don't think I agree with you at all because I count anything that PlayStation publishes because for the consumer, if it's an exclusive narrative game, it doesn't matter if they developed it internally or not. If they published it, that counts. That means Stellar Blade counts. Okay? Timed or not. It's not day and date.
But that wasn't a part of that wasn't a part of their presentation.
Okay, but I'm just describing my experience. Right?
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
I can understand that. So there's other studios that we don't know release dates for. Right?
But
we don't know what Sucker Punch is doing.
All we can do is about what they showed us.
But that's exactly right.
But all we can do is go by what they showed us.
You're taking what's unknown and saying that it's not true.
No, I'm taking what's known. I didn't say anything about what's unknown. I said about what they showed us. I didn't say anything about Sucker Punch's game or anything like that. I talked about
You take the percentage of games that PlayStation publishes this year, and how many are day and date and not. There are more that are not.
But they had a show about their future. They didn't have a show about their present. They had
We're always doing this. We're always talking about how.
No, but he's talking specifically about a meeting that they had post earnings report, that talked about their future business strategy is what he is talking about. So I'm only speaking to what they were speaking about their future. They weren't speaking about games that they just released a couple months ago. They were speaking specifically to their plans going forward. They were like, it's basically like a 3 to 5 year strategy is what the presentation was about that he's speaking to, where Herman Holtz was talking. It's like a whole. They had I think like 2 or 3 of those meetings last week.
Did you read Herman Holtz's statement where he said that single player games are gonna take time while multiplayer games are gonna be
I saw it live, but I also saw the very next day Until Dawn was going to PC day and date.
Okay.
So you take what they say, but you also take what they show. So if they shown that
have been known to go to PC literally from the first time it was announced.
Okay, and it's a day and date narrative game.
Of course it's gonna be day and date because it's literally going to PC. That's why they're making the remake to begin with. The game already on PlayStation right now.
Okay, and they remade Last of Us. They remade a lot of games. You can't say they remade them all for PC.
They remade all of them for PC. Why do you think they're doing?
They didn't remake. They didn't remake Last of Us just for PC. That's not why they did that.
You don't.
They didn't pull Horizon. They didn't pull Horizon Zero Dawn from their store. You don't have to remake those games. Those games can easily port on PC, and you can get the higher frame rates and everything without a remake. PCs are the
I will say that even the games are developed.
PCs
for the highest price if you don't put
PCs don't require remakes the same way that consoles do. They just don't.
How are you gonna justify a price tag if you're not gonna put the work in?
PCs do not need it, and PC gamers know that. So you're not justifying it to them if that's what you're saying. Like, PC gamers understand that we don't.
No, I didn't say justifying to them, to the PlayStation, the corporation. You want to buy it, you buy it.
Okay.
You want to buy it, you don't buy it.
So did you see Until Dawn in the state of play?
Yeah, I seen it.
Did you see any visual upgrades from the original? Because I didn't.
No.
Okay, so if you didn't see any, so if you didn't see any visual upgrades, what about a remake is catered to the PC audience?
First of all, I had no idea that it was a remake to begin with.
Okay.
I've seen what remake looks like. Other than that, I think, and I'm not sure about that, it's gonna be all about quality of life improvement. Which, again, this should have just been ported to PC.
Well, a quality of life would have happened with a port regardless, because it would have been made specifically for the PC platform. The quality of life improvements are going to come to the PlayStation as far as like haptic feedback and things like that.
I don't believe this game needed to be remade.
Yeah, but you're also saying that the remake is catered to the PC audience, and I'm asking how is it like. You're like, they're not getting a frame rate boost, because if you have a PC, you can adjust the frame rate, as needed. Like,
we can already do that with emulation.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, what exact, like, how is it remade for the PC audience specifically? Because that really doesn't make much sense to me. So that's why I'm asking you.
They're making it. They're showing the quote-unquote PC audience that they're putting in the effort But nobody is gonna buy an older game. Like for example, if they took what you call it Spider-Man, let's say 2, out and release Spider-Man 1 and release it like that. You're not gonna see 35 people buying it. You're not gonna see people buying it say for 50 or 70.
But that's what they did.
But
They did that. They released Spider-Man as is on the PC at full price.
Well, we got all the DLC.
They did.
Though. That's
They did. They did it with Horizon. They did
it with the DLC. They did it with Horizon. Like
yeah, but they didn't do anything special to the PC.
They're picking and choosing
They didn't.
Which game to give a special treatment and which game.
All right, so by the time Horizon released to PC, Horizon the Complete Edition had already been out on console. So by the time it released to PC, no, they're not going to release Horizon Zero Dawn and then a year later release the Complete Edition. Like that wouldn't make sense. So they released the whole thing at once. That's very common.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything special for the PC audience, just like they didn't do anything special for the PC audience with Until Dawn. If anything, all those quality of life improvements were on the PS5 side, not necessarily on the PC side.
Yeah, I would definitely say like on the PC and as far as all the PlayStation games have been ported over, the most that we get is uncapped frame rates and widescreen mode. That's and as we get the complete editions, but we also have to wait like even after all the DLC comes out, we have to wait like a good year before the games come out. I mean, look, we're finally getting God of War Ragnarok,
and that doesn't
all the DLC for Ragnarok came out,
and
that's actually the quickest complete edition we got from a PSN title, from an exclusive PSN.
Yeah, they're getting faster and faster, and where they are unable to do the port, they are finding help outsourcing those ports to be made. They are getting more efficient in their porting because they want to get more games out the door faster.
They're trying to get us to get them PSN accounts because Ragnarok requires a goddamn PlayStation Network account for a single player game. I'm so pissed off about that.
All right, so we're starting to talk about PlayStation, but I want to get on my soapbox for my what's on your mind. I did have a what's on my mind that popped in my head today, and it is regarding indie titles. Specifically this week, Zao and Hypercharge.
Oh God.
So when it
Zao and what? The other one?
Hypercharge.
Heard of it.
Yeah. It's that is the name of it, right? Pretty sure.
Oh,
Hypercharge.
About the mech. You're talking about the Small Soldiers third person shooter game. That's actually really fun to play. Xbox people just recently got it. There's cross-platform. Thank God. It's a fun game. To play.
It's
y'all got 4-player local co-op, which I am impressed. And I even think on the Series S y'all got that, which impressive.
All right, so basically, my soapbox when it comes to these particular games is that I'm just noticing in our community. I don't know if it's going to reach the people that it needs to, but in our community, these independent developers are sharing their experiences, whether they be Zao talking about the difficulties of providing diverse experiences and the backlash he's received from it, or Hypercharge, who has been the developer, the creator of that game, has been nothing but excited about the success that his game has had launching this week on Xbox. I think it made it up to 8th and top paid games on the Xbox store last time I checked. And
yeah, well, welcome.
And our community has done nothing but shit on those people. I saw people I saw people shitting on the Zao dude for talking about the diversity inclusion. I was like, I get that because the whole Sweet Baby Inc. There's a war on that. But then Hypercharge released, and somebody was like, whatchamacallit, the guy was like, I can't believe it, we sold 40,000 copies in 4 days. I think that's what he said. And the reaction from the community is like, why are you excited about that? Your game's not selling at all. Like, and like they're like shitting on the guy and his sales of his game, and he's excited for it. So
I mean, you know how small of a team that was?
I am serious.
That was like less than 50.
I even saw
It was 6 people.
Yeah, I even saw someone quote tweet the guy being excited about the sales of his game, and then someone being like, "See, Xbox players don't buy games," and he's literally celebrating that the game is selling great on Xbox. I'm like, come on now, like
I didn't know y'all were shitting on the guy. I mean, that's a great game you guys
like
got. Fuck it, PC players will take that shit back.
So
y'all.
So basically, my soapbox comment before we get into these topics is share in the joy of these independent developers and the success that they have. Like, don't shit on their success. Like, he's obviously excited about his game. That should be celebrated. It shouldn't turn into a console war narrative. I just hated seeing that today. So that's on my what's on my mind topic. I generally don't take the time to acknowledge these type of things, but it just didn't sit right with me that like this guy was like literally celebrating the success of his game, and then in the comments and in the quote tweets, people are using it to console war about, oh, why didn't it sell like 1 million copies this week?
No. It's because everyone already got it on PC. Your Xbox players better be happy. That's a fun local co-op game.
It's selling extremely well, especially for an indie title.
It is. I mean,
so
that is a really good game to play.
So, and I haven't bought it yet, but it looks amazing. I know Junpei bought it. I'll probably pick it up this weekend after these festivities that we got this week. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Let these indie developers have their moment, have their shine, have their joy. Don't make it your own console war to shit on their joy, man. That's all I gotta say before we dive into these topics. And with that said, I've done a horrible job with these timestamps. So
I thought you were gonna talk about the developer of ZAO getting death threat.
I mean, I saw that too. I mean, people were just being crazy with it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta, like, they're sharing their experiences, and you can't minimize someone's experience just because it's not your own. And ZAO has had a lot of success, for being an indie game. And I just encourage people to actually, before you decide to make a shit post to these people who are being active in the community, who are actually willing to go on podcasts and talk about their game and things like that, like welcome them into the community, embrace their success, acknowledge their challenges, and let's actually make the gaming community a better place. That's all that's my soapbox for the day. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into some topics today. Let's see. Topic number 1, the state of play. So, Sony has been kind of in a bit of a rut as far as their cadence has been going, and we've seen that reflected in the past couple of years, going 2 years without having a showcase, and then their 2 last big quote-unquote state of plays that kind of took the place of showcases didn't really show well, with games like Baby Steps and in this game with this state of play opening with Concord, which has received a lot of negative reaction from the community. So we've just seen a lot of I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? they've just been having a lot of issues with their release cadence, and the community is not necessarily excited with what they are showing them is coming in the pipeline. It is taking a step away from what they knew, as far as, God of War, Horizon, Days Gone, those narrative driven titles, more of a live service focus. And it's kind of leaving people kind of disjointed on how they feel about the PlayStation brand right now. And I'm just going to kind of get, your guys' reactions. Ragnarok going to PC. I know Nappy has some reactions to that. And I think I'm just going to keep it to the order that people showed up in. So I am going to go with Kofi first. Kofi, what was your reaction to the state of play?
I think I walked away overall with my thoughts of the state of play is I didn't really like it that much. It wasn't anything that got me mega excited.
So
Yeah. Go ahead, ask me.
is that purely from PlayStation first party side? Because I know you're like a big Monster Hunter fan. I know you. I know you do like some things about Silent Hill. It may not be like your favorite franchise, but I mean there were some titles that resonate with you personally. So is it just like a first party thing?
So, I guess I am kind of thinking about what PlayStation was doing from the first party perspective. I think you have some accuracy in saying there is we're noticing that there are an increasing number of studios that are years out from their prior release and have just not said anything, and we can make some healthy assumptions. I'm thinking of Sucker Punch, I'm thinking of Blue Point Games, I'm thinking of Ben Studio, I'm thinking of Housemarque. Housemarque kind of gets a pass, but they're getting close.
No, Housemarque released a game this generation, so they.
Well, that's what I mean. But I'm saying, like, so to me, I'm okay with Housemarque saying, "Hey, this game is still 18 months out, but let's show you something."
Yeah,
and have a guy with a controller show you something like they did, PS3, we're talking about Death Stranding. They did something kind of similar, or God of War did something kind of. Horizon Zero Dawn did something kind of similar. I'm okay with like 2 years out, and I think that's been the formula, right? We saw Spider-Man about 2 years out as well.
Well, CGI, then gameplay, and then gameplay what release typically,
maybe
right?
it was 18 months. Maybe it was 18, but usually there was 2 big shows that would show the game before it came out. Even for third party, support like Final Fantasy 16 or even remake or rebirth.
You can go back to God of War. You can go to God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok started out with They started out with a splash. They did a splash screen, and then they did They didn't do a CGI trailer, but they did like a cutscene trailer, and then they did a gameplay trailer with a release date.
I am very acute on Housemarque. Bend a little bit. I don't really know what Ben's leadership really is, even because of the significant people who left.
Do we know that they've been allowed to make a new game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been working on a game for a while. We don't really know what the capacity. I mean, we saw people hiring like in the middle of the pandemic, and of course, we know that so much leadership had left at the top end that they might need some more time to cook. But
now.
Go ahead.
Did you see the report that Blue Point might now just be a support studio for PlayStation now?
I did not see that, but
I think I saw a report. I saw a report last week that they're going to be being a support studio now for Sony.
Okay, maybe that makes a little more sense on some of the silence. I guess I'll have to.
We'll have to wait and see. But I saw somebody report it.
I think that would be. I'm not sure where I because I haven't done a lot of research on them like in the last, I would say, 10 months or so.
Last I heard from them is they're making their own IP.
Right. So I guess my overall thoughts though, outside of first party, was it was a good show. I mean, yes, seeing Monster Hunter, I'll never forget when I saw World for the first time. I remember I called a good friend of ours, Pharaoh, and Reggie's not here. Pharaoh and Reggie, no, I'm sorry. I called him and I said, "My guy, I don't care what you're doing right now. I need you to go look at this video of them showing Monster Hunter World." So, Wilds looks really great. It's going to be a day one for me. I dumped like 300 hours into the last game instantly, and no regrets. So that is really special. I also say that Astrobot looks really great. I platinumed the free one that came out. I didn't get a chance to play the VR one, but love it. I think it looked really diverse with all of the crazy monsters that you're going to be fighting, and of course using the DualSense, I'm sure, in wacky ways. So that's all a thumbs up from me. But even though I'm already disappointed when Bloober Team was announced to work on Silent Hill, I just get more disappointed the more I see Silent Hill. And I think it's because Konami wants to make the maximum amount of dollar off of a developer they probably didn't want to pay top dollar. That's really just what I think.
Blooper. They suck, man. They absolutely suck.
I bet you they are a very affordable developer. And Konami's
Also,
like, well, I don't want to pay 3 times the price and risk the game being bad anyway. I'll just pay the cheapest dev.
This is not a remake, dude. There is absolutely zero reason to this to be a remake. It's not visually appealing. It doesn't have great animation. Like, is it wrong to assume that, like, I don't know, they wasted it with this one?
Can I say that they wasted it? I don't see.
Especially for an IP as big as Silent Hill. Come on.
I think that the game. Oh, go ahead, Farrell. You first.
All right. So, do I think some of the criticism towards Bluepoint is warranted? Sure, but I think some of the criticism is also warranted towards Konami. Not necessarily for choosing.
Oh, absolutely.
Not necessarily choosing Bluepoint, but that game clearly has a certain budget based on how it looks. Like it's not necessarily fully a talent thing. Like the fact that it's not visually impressive, that part of that is on Konami. They don't want to pay for it to look visually impressive.
That's what I'm saying. they wanted to get they think that the IP alone will make it sell millions.
Yeah, because they're doing
like, we don't have to spend like all this money. We can just do the minimum dollar.
Yeah, so
they shop it around. Right, they get quotes. I bet this. Oh well, if you want to make Silent Hill, we know it's going to make some money, so we're going to charge you this much. Because I was like, we ain't paying that much. Then Bloober Team's like, we'll charge you $3. Like, oh, what? They'll charge us $3? They're going to make it.
Yeah, so
that's exactly what I think happened.
Yeah, so I don't want to put it all on Bloober Team. A lot of this is on Konami because Konami obviously didn't give them the budget because they obviously don't care enough for the game to be like, quote unquote, the rival to Resident Evil or something like that.
Yeah,
like they've picked a lane. That is all I'm gonna say when it comes to Silent Hill, because even like the mobile game and all that, nothing about Silent Hill has looked overly impressive. So at this point, Konami has picked its lane. That's what I'll say.
Unfortunately, that's been the case with Silent Hill for the last like 15, almost 20 years, right? Silent Hill 4: The Room gets a pass. I think it was a pretty good game, but that other, what was that Wii game? Ugh. I know somebody knows that Wii game. Oh, Nap, you know that game?
You said a Wii Silent Hill game?
Yes. Yes.
I vaguely remember it.
You just run into a bunch of doors. It's like, oh my god, you run through a door.
Yeah, I remember it.
You remember that? It was terrible. And the game came out when we were in college. So
I was like,
you're right.
High school.
To your point, Farrell, Konami chose this lane 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
Okay. One last thing I just want to throw out.
When's the last time Konami made a AAA game?
That crappy version of Metal Gear Solid, or was that AA? I don't know. That Metal Gear Survive.
So that was like almost 10 years ago, right?
Remind me though. Isn't Konami the one that's coming with the remaster of Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 1 or 2?
Yes, but it's getting delayed. You don't even know the release date.
Also, I heard Konami opened up a motion capture studio.
Yeah, but they're not doing a lot as far as gaming is concerned. Like that might be that might be for movies or something, for all we know.
No, that's focusing
for game capture for animations.
No, this is going for AAA games.
AAA develop, so they can motion capture for AAA games.
It might not be for their own AAA games. they might be running out studio time. Because they haven't done AAA gaming in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I said. But they're tiptoeing their their feet with this one. We've seen it first with we've seen it with what they're making right now, which is Suikoden.
Because if you for instance, if you want to dive into AAA gaming, like for instance, no, I'm just gonna name like Level 5 because they do a lot of games that we like. But if Level 5 decided that they wanted to do like AAA gaming and they wanted to take a shot at it, but they didn't have like the motion capture studio, they could use like Konami Studio at a fee. And that could be kind of what they're doing because Konami just has not necessarily been interested in AAA gaming for quite a bit of time. I have to see them actually go out on a limb and actually do it before I say that they're in it, because they haven't been in it for I think over a decade now. Metal Gear Solid Phantom Liberty, right? That's the 5th one, right?
Yeah.
Phantom.
Isn't that Phantom Liberty? Phantom Liberty, Phantom Pain, whatever the fuck it's called. That came out like in what, 2015?
Technically, it's the vampire, wherever that zombie survival game, Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, Survive. That's what I was talking about.
That is the worst one.
But isn't that a part? Isn't that like an expansion of Metal Gear 5 though?
I think it uses like 80%
in a
of the
way,
assets.
yes.
I think it's like an expansion pack on Metal Gear 5. I think it's called Metal.
No, it's his own game.
Oh, it is.
It is its own game.
Okay.
But
yeah, because
to your point, Pharaoh, like it's not like they made a lot of new stuff in that game. I bet they used a bunch of old assets.
Yeah, so I'm just saying they just haven't shown a interest in AAA games.
One last thing I just wanted to say, so I can finish up, is Where Winds Meet does look very interesting. That was shown at the State of Play. And the last thing was, I usually don't like free-to-play games. To me, I just don't like the whole monetization system. I'd rather pay up front. But Path of Exile 2 looks very interesting to me.
That was a PC game. You're welcome.
Diablo? Like when I look at Diablo, when I first saw all the hype around Diablo 2 remaster, like 3 years ago, I was like, okay, it looks kind of good. I'll see what Diablo 4. When Diablo 4 came out, I just couldn't get over how the gameplay looked. It just didn't look appealing to me. But Path of Exile 2 does. So definitely on my radar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top down
RPG. You're welcome for that. Path of Exile 1 was such a great success and such a great game.
It's still doing very well.
Yes, it is.
So yeah. But those are your all your reactions to the State of Play, Kofi. I want to cut you short.
Yeah, I think that was most of the key things. I'm just looking through here. Like you said, we talked. Of course, Alien was showed. Ballad of Antara. I remember that looking kind of cool.
So the problem with Ballad is a free to play.
Ballad of Antara. Okay.
Yeah, it's a free to play. Sadly.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I have to look that one up. And then Concord. I do have to kind of also chase the criticism of that formula feels like it's chasing a dream, and I feel like I've seen several studios release a game like Overwatch. Let's be honest, it's basically Overwatch, and fail since this game was in development. And I guess I'm thinking of the Gundam Evolution game that Reggie and I were playing, which looked really cool because I felt like the potential of Gundam Evolution was great because you could build so many unique Gundams, or convince people to say, oh, you could buy Wing Zero, or you could buy Heavy Arms, and that gets people really excited. And that game crashed and burned, and it was released everywhere. So
better than Overwatch 2.
Gundam games in general don't sell very well for some reason.
Well, hopefully this next one.
You know why? Yeah. You know why I think Gundam games don't sell though? Is because
into Gundams.
No, I think people are very much into Gundams, but Gundam is more than just the actual Gundam. It's the narrative, and they haven't really released a narrative-heavy Gundam game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
So I think if you actually released like a unique narrative-heavy Gundam game, I think that would sell.
They should start from the beginning, naturally, because we have a huge audience of people who haven't played Gundam.
Or it could just be its own unique story, a whole new story from scratch. I mean, They could do Gundam Wing. I play Gundam Wing. I play through that story.
Mhm.
I would take me all the way through Endless Waltz. I'd be happy with it. But yeah, I think that's what kind of hurts Gundam personally, is that they just never gave us that narrative game. But yeah, so that being said, I'm gonna throw it over to Omar since he coming in. I'm going in the order y'all came to the show. So Omar, what were your thoughts on the
Okay.
state of play?
So it was atrocious. Um, one of the worst, I think. Mostly because a lot of it is not for me. Yes, it have big hitters like Monster Hunter and stuff like that. But I was never really into Monster Hunter. I am gonna go try Monster Hunter Story because what you call
Term?
it?
You're gonna do the turn-based version?
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm excited for that. I'm getting it.
I think I think what we're seeing is what has kind of always been the case when it comes to these platform holder shows. It doesn't really matter how good the third party games that come to your show are if the first party isn't there with it.
Makes you think, what's the point of the state of play if it's not going to show no first-party games?
no,
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed with PlayStation itself. Like I've been playing non-stop of the games, and I've yet to catch up to Rise of Ronin and Stellar Blade. Like now, I'm sitting pretty. It's just they've been. Kofi said it. They've been cooking for so long. It's like when you gonna show us what you're cooking?
Well, you got to remember that they had a big live service push, and a lot of those games got canceled.
Then they got killed. Yeah.
So a lot of these studios, it's not what you've been cooking, because a lot of what they've been cooking got thrown away. They're starting over. A lot
They
of
have
the
been also making
Only one
single-player
Conqueror's the
games.
only survival.
well,
Like, we
Concord
know-
was purchased to make that particular game. So like,
We know what you call it exists. Ghost of Tsushima 2. We know it's about to be debuted. We know Bell Studio is making a game, and apparently PlayStation invested right now 250 million in them. So that's a rumor, but there is that. Like a lot of PlayStation big hitters have been making games. Like even Cory Barlog, he was making his own game, which is why he didn't work for the most part on God of War Ragnarok. So clearly they have stuff hidden, and it's a matter of when they're gonna show it. And it's a sad thing that they've been waiting for to show it to us, because yeah, we're just excited for it.
I think I don't think it's really a matter. Well, it's always a matter of when, but it's not like they're just not showing it to you because they're trying to keep it in the tuck. It's not ready. If the stuff
agree with that.
if the stuff was at least like 2 years out, you would be seeing it. Because Sony has a very they have a very strategic marketing cadence that they go by. They are masters at marketing their titles. So and they go with a 18-month to 2-year approach to titles that they are releasing. So the fact that you aren't seeing it just means that it's not anywhere near that state yet. I honestly, I think I won't say that they regret it. I won't say that they regret it in the sense because you can't anticipate that hack happening, but I do think they kind of regret in some aspects showing Wolverine as early as they did.
Yeah.
Because it's now been like what 3 years, and we haven't we haven't seen it again.
I think it's true that they restart the code from scratch.
And then same thing with KOTOR. I think they regret kind of showing those games a little too early. And now they're
People with KOTOR, no one was expecting what happened to it. So there is that.
I mean, no one expected what happened with Wolverine. that's why I think they kind of regret, showing things a little too early. And I don't think they're gonna make that same error. I think they made that error with Fair Games, whatever Jade Raymond Studio was making. Fair Play, Fair Games, whatever it's called. I always mess the name up. Yeah, I think they like what they did with
Firewalk?
Astrobot. Yeah, Firewalk. That game just looks bad. It looked like, I thought that game was kind of DOA when they showed like the Jiggly cheeseburger, because I just don't think like it was just a very weird trailer to me, and I was just like, new studio. I wasn't really feeling the vision from the jump. And the same thing with Jade Raymond's new game. I think they showed that a little bit too early, and I think that when they finally do show it, probably next year, again, it's probably next time we'll see it. I think when they do show it, I think it's going to get the same reception that Concord is getting right now, even if it is a better game, because people are a little bit tired of the live service push that Sony is pushing. Because they expect a certain type of title from first party at Sony, and they're not getting it. If they were getting fed the single player stuff,
We've been getting fed though. We just had
Didn't-
no,
and
but
we had
all right. So
Celebrate.
I'm not saying no as far as those games were showed years ago and they finally came out. Y'all haven't been getting fed any news for years.
Oh, news. Okay.
Yeah.
News. Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah, that's fair.
so you're not getting, like, you have no idea what Sony's doing as far as
Yeah.
what their
Like-
games right now. Like after
the game
after Stellar Blade, you're pretty much in the dark. as far as-
we have
You mean
We
like new
have-
stuff?
Yeah,
we have what you call it next year. We have Death
there's
Talking
nothing.
about things that we don't know. He's talking like an official announcement. From
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You don't know that Death
We-
Stranding's 2 coming out next year. You hope it's coming out next year. They haven't even given a release window for it.
Yes, they did.
They did?
No,
When they showed it on the stage, they had a release window on that show. I thought they just showed like a trailer and
I thought it was-
They had Death
Was it not said for late next year? No.
Stranding.
Maybe I'm wrong.
no. When they showed it with Kojima on the stage, I don't think they gave a date that day.
Okay. I'll buy it. I thought it was.
It looked great. The game did look great, and it had some gameplay, and I do think the game can come out next year. I do think it can.
Yeah, I think fall
2025.
2025.
Of 2025.
Yeah,
That's
fall
all we
2025
have
is my
right
guess.
now.
They put out a splash screen with 2025 on it, or it's just like
Yeah,
they
I
talked
thought
to a
that was
reporter.
true. I might be wrong, but I thought it was something 2025. But
I believe the game will. I believe the game can probably come out in 2025. I don't doubt that, but I just don't think they actually, like, on a stage put that out there. Is kind of what I'm saying. I don't remember that, but if they did, they did. Because I figured we were pretty much in the dark as far as what's releasing next year. Okay. Yobi said they showed it. But yeah, I do think Death Stranding 2 looked good when they showed it. I just really didn't remember seeing a date.
That should look amazing.
Yeah, visually, it definitely it's probably the best looking game I've seen from Sony first party this generation, from what I saw. But yeah, so I think people just kind of want to see Sony kind of get back to the narrative driven stuff instead of just cramming this live service. I think that's kind of where the upset reactions are coming from. Astro did look good. With Astro, I think it's going to be very interesting because Astro launched with the PlayStation 5 as a game and everyone loved it. But it's a difference between loving something when it's free and then loving it enough to buy it. So we're just going to have to wait and see like how the community reacts to its release, because platforms generally, they just, outside of Nintendo, they don't typically sell like gangbusters. So that'll be interesting to see for sure. But not about my thoughts. It's about Jubei's thoughts right now. Jubei, what were your thoughts on the state of play?
Garbage.
I mean, there was
No.
there was a lot of E for Everyone games there
No.
that you'll be able to play on your Xbox.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm good. I
Yeah.
did not need that news from them. I was expecting something totally different. And I was wrong.
Okay.
Dang.
Like,
sounds like Jubei's gonna.
why do we do this with to ourselves?
Well,
We got to stop hyping these Sony shows because it's not worth it.
I will say that I think people in the community do need to not hype shows that the company themselves aren't hyping. I
Yep.
think Sony was very thoughtful in the fact that they decided to make it sure that you knew it was a state of play, and they didn't usually, when even if it's a state of play that's like that they're really excited about it, they kind of let you know that they're really excited about it.
Right.
But this was almost like a here damn state of play. Right? I know y'all want one. Here damn, here it is. Here's what we got. It wasn't like, here's a state, because usually they do like a state of play and like they kind of set the expectations before the show. We're going to be featuring Japanese heavy titles or whatever before the show starts, and you didn't really have that here. So I don't think the expectation should have been crazy for the show to begin with. But I mean, I saw some good games there. But I just also saw that like it, with what their cadence has been show wise, it just wasn't, they should have just kind of mixed a lot of that in with the Summer Games Fest instead of doing their own state of play. I think they would have got a better reception.
Yep.
Uh, but I'm gonna throw this over to Nappy, and then I'll throw in Yobi's comment. What were your thoughts on the state of play?
As a PlayStation state of play, I think that I could see why the PlayStation audience is upset, because you guys kind of didn't really get, like, I thought the PlayStation state of play should be like, this is the reason why you should get a PlayStation 5. Saw a lot of games that were not exclusive, so it's kind of like
E for everyone. It was an E for everyone show for the most part.
Yeah, so it's kind of like anyone could have announced this. I mean, yes, you can. It's nice to see that you could play some of these games on PlayStation 5. So family games. Biggest reveal for me was that the God of War Ragnarok was coming to PC. Also, it kind of sucks that you still need a PlayStation Network account to play it, which for me technically, because me and my friends were playing Helldiver 2, and we were thinking about it, and it was just like, don't the PlayStation Network account, it sucks, but it's something we can like, okay, whatever, if it's a first party title and this is the only way.
Is this a
Fine, but
security concern for you, Nappy?
it's not,
Because if it's a security concern, I get it.
I don't wanna
But
tell
like, you
myself
got a lot of
apart.
accounts, man. You
I
got a
know,
lot
I
of
don't.
gaming accounts.
I mean, that's the thing though. It's like, I already have like a lot of stuff. I already have like my antivirus protection on top of antivirus protection
But like,
with a
you got a Blizzard
VPN.
account, right? You got a UB account, right?
I do, but but my only thing is that why try to make these PlayStation Network accounts? You just like retcon
Because
like
it's
a majority of the country, not more majority of the world. Like 1/3 of the world can't play your game now, and the whole thing about
The
PC
region
is
blocking
like
is dumb. I
freedom.
agree with that too.
It's that's the whole thing about PC is all about freedom, and like making a PlayStation Network account is fine, and it turns out you don't need to tie your debit card to it, because
Of course
that's
not.
one thing I
Yeah.
don't need to.
refuse to do.
I don't have
Uh,
a credit card, and I still have an account.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with the PC community that I've seen is more so that PlayStation doesn't have its infrastructure in place that everyone
No, it does not.
can partake in the
Agreed.
game.
That was dumb.
yeah.
It was really dumb of them.
So they shouldn't enforce a mandatory PSN account if they don't have the infrastructure to, like, you know, for everyone to be able to purchase the game and have the PSN account.
Yeah, so
But
and plus it's just like there's no place. It's kind of weird too to have like make it force us to have a PlayStation Network account. They don't have a store to like Microsoft got its own store to like purchase games strictly off of Microsoft. Like it works independently of Steam.
they're working on that. And the thing, all right, so I get the consumer side where people can't buy the game everywhere. I understand that, but you also have to understand the PlayStation side. And we're living in a world where hardware sales don't matter as much, and engagement and MAUs are much more important, because the longer you have someone engage with your platform, even if it's indirectly through Steam or whatever, the more people are engaged in your platform, the more monthly active users you have, and the more time they spend in your platform, the more money they ultimately spend in your platform. And that's why that's why they need these PSN accounts, because they need you guys engaged, and they need to boost their MAUs so that when they go to when they talk to shareholders and they say, "Hey, we increased MAUs by 5 million this quarter," it raises the stock price.
Well, it's gonna be a little hard because I will say, like, even the what was that samurai game? I mean, the game overall, that samurai got overall positive
Ghost of
reviews.
Tsushima.
Yeah, it got overall positive reviews, but some people are still like hesitant to buy it just because of the PSN accounts.
Yeah,
I mean, even though me and my friends, we confirmed that, like, no, you don't have to tie a debit card to it or a credit card. But I mean, the Sony does not have the strongest infrastructure,
so
which kind of like pisses people off.
The PSN account is not going to hurt the games like Ghost of Tsushima and God of Ragnarok, in my opinion. Well, will it hurt it to some degree? Yes. But the games that it's really going to hurt are the games that people are on the fence about, like Concord, like Marathon. If you're on the fence about a game and you're kind of on this getting a PSN type wave at the moment, it's a good chance.
Strong.
No,
players love Helldivers.
Even right now, Helldivers numbers have started to decline on PC.
I love it, but
I mean, the community is still sustaining. It's not going anywhere. Like, the game is successful, but at the same time, they have lost a lot of what they had as a result of that decision. Some of that is attributed to the countries that were banned are still banned even after the decision reversal. Just because when Sony announced that they reversed the decision, they didn't give those countries access back to the game after that. So there are some people,
and Steam went out of their way to refund those games, and Sony was pissed about that.
it's a lot. It's like there are people who were part of the Helldivers community who are no longer able to partake in the community because they're in one of those regions.
My fallen comrades
that previously purchased the game, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, any other thoughts in regards to the state of play? Oh, the VR thing. Well, as a PC person, like, it's basically like a monitor on your face now because they took out all the features of the damn headset.
Yeah, so I was looking at that. There's actually, I would say that the state of play is not the first time I've seen it. Like, they already are coming up with glasses that are like $400 that can put a monitor up in your face. That's like the next biggest thing right now. So instead of buying a TV, like the set of like blue light glasses I got right now, you can literally buy glasses for $400, plug a monitor up to, or plug your Nintendo Switch or whatever, and you can have your game projected. I've seen it in Micro Center. It is extremely impressive. They even have it where it can dial to your eye. So if you're a blind person that got subscription glasses, you can actually dial it to your subscription.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So,
it's been around for like 2-3 years now, as far as like
it's
a while.
It's been about almost 3 years. it's still expensive. Like the glasses right now, like that I saw are like $400.
That's not
but
all right. It's not really
it's really
expensive
good.
when you compare it to a TV. It's not that expensive, but the thing is with a TV is like 5 people can come over and if you can fit in the room, you can watch the TV. Versus with like those glasses, it's a singular experience. So
Actually, the box actually allows you to you can connect up to 4 different glasses, I believe, because they originally made it for the Nintendo Switch,
yeah,
but they have
but that's 4 people who gotta
since
buy glasses.
yeah,
Does it
so it's called
does
it's
it
called
come?
the IMO Air is one of them.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of them now, but
like does it come with multiple glasses and the?
no,
So it's
they usually
so it's $400 every time. You just are able to hook up multiple 400 glasses to a singular device, right?
I'll
That was
say
my
this.
understanding.
So the first, so they're actually the biggest one that everyone's getting is the X-Real Air 2 Pro AR glasses.
Yeah.
So that comes with a box and looks like the extra glasses are about $300 a piece. The glasses with the actual HDMI boxes is $449.
So 300 for every additional user. That's what I'm saying. So it's not that expensive, but it's like it is expensive because if you want other people to partake on the same type of device, you got to buy one for them too.
Can you imagine you and your wife just laying in bed, just looking up and but then you could turn your heads away from each other and still watch the same movie?
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of neat.
Say,
I've thought about putting on because I have a couple Oculuses in my house. I thought about just laying in my bed with an Oculus on my face and like watching a Netflix movie one day. I've thought about doing it, but I haven't done it.
That's bulky. That is bulky.
It is bulky.
To this.
But I'm saying it isn't. The glasses are attractive because I've thought about doing it with the VR. Like I'll just lay back and watch a movie on. I've thought about it. I haven't done it, but it has crossed my mind. Like especially when I want to watch something that's not necessarily child appropriate.
Oh god.
And I'm not talking about Twitter's new stance. All right, I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about like a rated R, 5-year-old shouldn't be watching. Y'all see my kids annoy me.
I got you.
I have a question for you, Pharaoh. Do your kids see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or is that a little bit too much?
My kids watch Demon Slayer. I'm a horrible parent.
He said my kids watch Demon Slayer. I'm a horrible.
That's the name of this podcast episode.
But also another thing too, going back to all the other games, God of War Ragnarok, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get God of War now, but then the PSN account, it's a single player game. I don't understand the point. Concord, I really don't care because Marvel Rivals, that might honestly have better interest. And then Ubisoft came out with their online game, which is doing very well. That's competing against Call of Duty at this point. So Concord, that's a really hard sell for a free-to-play game. There's too many goddamn free-to-play games that requires a grind, and I don't know if I feel like grinding.
I don't think Concord is free to play.
Yeah, it's not confirmed to be too.
People are hoping that it's free to play. People are like, "Oh, this game better be free to play or it's dead on arrival." But I've heard people saying I've heard people saying something about a beta, and the beta requires a pre-order. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not stating that to be fact, but I've heard people in the community talk about it. I watched a couple different podcasts, people talking about Concord. And they did say something about a beta at the show. I do remember hearing that. I think it goes live in like a week or two. But I think you have to pre-order the game to get access to the beta. Maybe not the first beta, but like the initial beta. The initial beta, I think you have to pre-order the game in order to get access to it.
Yeah, you need to pre-order the game in order to.
So it's not free to play.
Okay.
And I think it's and I'm pretty sure it's $70 too. It's not like $50. I'm not on the PlayStation Store checking, but I can check real fast.
I can Google. But the thing about Concord, I think the biggest competitor for Concord right now will be Marvel's Rivals.
Which they showed on their own show.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, why would you? I mean, there's only so. I mean, I get it. They're giving people options, but
yeah,
it's Marvel Rival. It was that might. And
Some
it
of
plays
that,
it plays like Destiny, which is cool, but still.
some of that stuff is contracts though. You're contracted to show it at your next showcase. Like they fight for the right to show some of those games so that those games are associated with the platform. So even if like Marvel Rivals kind of goes up against their own game, it's too late. They secured the contract anyway. I mean, they can hold off on showing their own game, but there's a time and place that they have to kind of show certain games that they've fought for the rights to show.
Okay, so it doesn't really say if the games, but it does say it requires a PS Plus account is required to play Concord on PS5. So which
All right, so Encore will not go on pre-order until Thursday, the 6th.
Yep, June 6th. June 6th, and
So-
then the beta run full release is on August 23rd, 2024. So
Yeah, so it's not free to play.
So I mean, but
it might go free to
that's
play. Sony has shown that if a game doesn't do pre-order numbers, that it will go to free to play.
I mean, that a live service game, man, that's an uphill battle at this point, man. We got so many.
Yeah.
Good luck to Concord. I'm honestly
because
too
didn't
many live service games.
I think Destruction All Stars, that was their game that went for pre-order. It was a $70 game, and when it didn't pick up any pre-orders, it went free to play.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, like I said, live service game that's hard to sell at this age. Some games that caught my eye, besides God of War Ragnarok Concord, I really didn't care about. Astrobot, we did get the first Astro on PC, even works with my DualSense controller, so that was cool. Monster Hunter Wilds, I already knew that I was getting that game. I didn't need to see a preview of that. That's a must-have for me. Dynasty Warriors Origins. I haven't played a good Dynasty Warriors game in a long time.
I haven't played Dynasty Warriors since the PlayStation 2. That's the last time I played Dynasty Warriors.
I think my last Dynasty
Warriors
Warrior is like 7.
To change the formula drastically.
Drastically, like bruh.
Yeah.
Because the normal Dynasty Warrior, especially how where they are now with Dynasty Warrior, they made nobody special, nobody important. They all play the same, feel the same. So I'm hoping with this new one, put some spirit in it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
they're gonna rival again.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Dynasty Warriors we haven't had a good Dynasty Warriors, and it's crazy how the last Dynasty Warriors game I played was like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and also Samurai Warriors 4 the DX edition, which that's like the closest thing to a Dynasty Warrior game I've played recently. I'm really curious. I would love to see a good Dynasty Warriors game again. It's been such a long time since we had a good Dynasty Warrior game.
Right.
Path of Exile 2, I'm glad you PS5 players get to get it. You guys got local co-op, which is great, and you got cross progression, so you can tie which means I already know that Path of Exile 2, there's going to be a PSN account required for this one because they want to do the cross.
That's a E for everyone game. That's on.
Yeah, no, I know Path of Exile is good.
Path of Exile is an E for everyone.
Yes, it's coming to Xbox too. Yeah, when I say E for everyone, I mean it's going everywhere.
Oh, okay.
It's a E
everywhere.
It's an E for everyone game, meaning that it's gonna be everywhere.
Is it story driven?
For Path of Exile 2, I don't know because I played first Path of Exile. That was in early access for like such a long time, but when they finally finished it and put it together, it is so good. Like if you missed Diablo, oh my god, Path of Exile was amazing.
Well, so would you say it's about the level of Diablo in terms of storytelling?
Just about, yeah. Everyone loves the
So I don't know if
storytelling,
that impresses you or not, Omar, but about the level of Diablo.
I mean, it's free to play. I downloaded, so I will see for myself.
I mean, I would definitely say play Path of Exile 1 just to give you guys a little bit of idea of
I
what they were
downloaded
doing. So, but yeah, Path of Exile 2, I'm actually excited for. I'm actually glad that it's coming to consoles as well because that's a really good PC game that I think you console players will enjoy. As far as like any other games besides those games, not really much else has really caught my eye in the showcase. I mean, I think it was for me, it was an okay for PlayStation. I don't think it was the best. I mean, like I said, the live service game with Concord, like, oh, this is going to be our live service game. But then they also had Marvel Rivals, which people literally the closed beta was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago from the state of play, or yeah, a week ago from state of play, like 2 weeks ago. And Marvel Rivals is a free to play game that everyone's about to be jumping on, so that's going to be his biggest competitor. At least that's what my opinion. It's an okay show. I mean, it didn't have to be a PlayStation showcase, really. It could have been.
It wasn't a showcase. They said it was a state of play. They made it very clear.
It didn't have to be a state of play. It could be anything. Actually, Sony didn't even have to host this. Anyone could have hosted this, to be honest with you.
But
they should have let Jeff Keighley host it. Like, this should have been part of Summer Game Fest.
Remember last year they did that. They integrated their state of play into the. They did that last year. Last year their state of play was a part of the Summer Games Fest. It was a part of this Summer Games Fest schedule. That's just fanboy talk.
Yeah, I mean, because I get PlayStation when they hear PlayStation play, they expect first exclusive PlayStation developer titles, and you guys didn't get much of that. Which, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's just like it didn't have to be a state of play. They could have done. Anyone could have done this. To be honest with you.
Yes, Sony never gives their A material to someone else. That just
A material in here.
Yeah, so I mean, I think to say that they're gonna show they got something in the tuck for Jeff Keighley, I think that's just fanboy talk. Just like the second showcase that was supposed to come last year, like it's just fanboy talk.
Like I said, I will see. This honestly did not really push PlayStation forward, in my opinion. It just showed off a bunch of games that I could play on PC, thank God. But I mean, thank you for showing off Dynasty Warriors. Thank you for showing me a little bit more Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm just going to get that regardless. I don't know. Just didn't push. If this was supposed to convince me to buy a PlayStation 5, it didn't, because I already got a PC.
I will say, all right. What I'll say when I think the way Sony does it, I think state of plays are a tool to market to your current user base. That's what I think state of plays are for, personally. Like it's a marketing tool to your current user base. I think showcases are designed to attract new customers. That's kind of how I see it.
Okay, I can get that.
Because they do like 3 or 4 state of plays a year. Like pretty much every quarter they do a state of play. I think that's more to like engage with your current base, make sure they know what's coming, so that you can sell them, the latest and greatest.
Yeah, I mean, also apparently PlayStation players have a problem with all they play is Call of Duty and 2K.
I mean, that's a problem with the game industry in general, is that everyone has gotten sucked into live service, and it's lives in a way. Live service is killing the traditional gaming model because people aren't making time to play different types of games.
So how about quick question for Nappy? How do you split your time between playing games that get support over the years and live service and purchasing some games during that kind of period? You like or
right now, I would say all my live service games have honestly been done on my Razor Edge. I don't do live service games on too many live service games on my computer or PC gaming. Those are more like, besides Helldivers 2 is like a multiplayer game. This is like I will play Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, or the solo leveling game, which honestly the mobile versions, these things got the worst microtransactions. Oh my God, if we ever got prepared for this world, we're doomed. But yeah, I mostly like live service games are like something I will play with friends. As long as my friends have the game, I will play it. Like I used to solo Warframe a lot, And I don't even like if my friends and I picked up Warframe, there's really honestly no reason for me to pick up Warframe. So I mostly like I said, I mostly play like story-based games. Like it's I like I'm like you. I like to purchase my games up front. I don't like too many free to play games. There's always something, there's always a tie to it. There's always like some microtransactions, which I'm starting to annoy microtransactions. And it's like if I'm on my PC, I want to play a full-fledged game. If I'm on the go, I will settle to play like Call of Duty Warzone. Honestly, is a free mobile game that honestly scratches like a little first person shooter competitive itch when I'm out and about. So I don't even play Call of Duty Warzone Modern Warfare 3 as much anymore because I got Call of Duty on here. So I would say mostly I'll give myself a 70-30 because when I'm playing PC games, it's full-fledged games. Or when I'm out on the go, then that's usually where most of my live service has been going to lately. Unless it's Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is live service, but I paid for that up front. I got the game up front. So it doesn't feel like a live service as much, but it is technically a live service.
Yeah. That's how I like my live service games. Pay up front.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I think Monster Hunter Wild might be considered a live service like Monster Hunter World. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Because Monster Hunter World was a live service game, and I didn't even realize it was live service.
Technically, something like Gran Turismo 7 is live service. We've gotten a free update every month for 2 years.
Ain't nothing technical about that. All racing games are live service at this point. Ain't nothing technical about that one.
I mean, it's a way to do live service. I mean, when these companies, like the way how these companies have done live service, like it's like that just lets me know that you're going to try to nickel and dime me throughout the years, and you have to give me a really, really good reason, and you got to respect my goddamn time to nickel and dime me.
Yeah.
Or else I'm just going to play a different game, or I'm going to go to emulation. So
you know what? When it comes to live service, I have one live service game that's like the devil to me, and that's my vice, and that is Madden. I don't partake in any other
does that live service? Because you gotta buy a new game every year.
You do have to buy a new game, but it's definitely live service. Well, the Ultimate Team portion of it is live service.
Oh,
yeah, Ultimate Team is definitely live service.
Annual and live service.
Wait, so
sports.
All right, so Ultimate Team go over?
No, you see, and that's with sports games. Sports games are very predatory in that nature because they do release a new game every year, and the stuff that you build up over time, you lose it every year. You got to rebuild back up from scratch every year. The sports video games are very predatory, and that needs to be addressed.
I'm gonna say, why don't you guys just play the mobile versions? At least you guys get to keep everything.
I think they release a new version of the mobile every year too.
They do.
Yeah. When it comes to Madden, I think they do. Yeah.
Damn. Well, that sucks. Yeah, live service games. I'm tired of it. I would like a full-fledged game that is fun. That's actually, you know what? I give Nintendo its credit. I mean, at least Nintendo, there's a bunch of full-fledged games you can
I was thinking about this earlier in regards to
Xbox too.
Xbox. Well, I have a PC, so
yeah.
I mean, Xbox has
Hi-Fi Rush is a full game. You know what I'm saying?
That's a full game.
Well, the one thing I was going to say, I was about to give credit to Xbox in the sense of that they don't have this. They obviously do have live service games, but it feels like what they have done is make Game Pass the live service, and they don't care if the game is single player or multiplayer as long as it's in Game Pass. So
yeah, I'm still curious about their mobile division that's going to be announced this week. That actually is very curious.
The Game Pass. I feel like the Game Pass approach has given them a lot of leeway to make a lot of different type of games, and we're starting to see that like bear fruit these past like 20 months. So yeah, I like that. But as far as the PlayStation show is concerned, I think my biggest takeaway from the show is I just kind of want to see how committed PlayStation is towards capturing a new audience. Because because the reason I say that is because we saw, if you go look at the video of Concord and the reactions to it, I think like it has like 3,000 likes and like 39,000 dislikes. Versus like Astrobot, which is their single player new game they announced. It's like 300 dislikes and like 40,000 likes.
Like or something.
Yeah. So
And it's
Nobody
interesting that
asked-
like if you go ahead, Omar. I'm sorry.
Nobody asked for Concord. We all asked for Astrobot.
yeah.
That's why.
So it's
But isn't also like kind of interesting that Concord copies like whatever you want to call it, like what's it called, Star Lord and the Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy, right?
it
They made
felt
those-
very
Yeah.
Guardians-ish. For
So-
sure.
But like, well, hold on. But what's it called? Helldivers 2 copies Starship Troopers, but it's like
It's not. It's
That
not.
was
a copy,
okay.
It's an
How
homage.
about
Like,
the-
bro, even the
it is.
name
It is.
Alright.
Like I don't disagree.
I'm about to say, yeah, it's kind of similar to Star Troopers, but it had its unique spin, and plus, it feels like exactly like Helldivers 1.
It does,
Which-
but I mean, I don't necessarily like Concord either, and I love Helldivers 2, by the way. I have like 50 hours in the game, but I just find that very interesting. That like it depends on how you
I
play with
think-
the medium.
I
okay.
think Helldiver 2 look way more fun to be played than
Oh,
Concord.
absolutely,
Okay.
And we
Yeah.
both
So-
played
absolutely.
Helldiver 2.
All right. So the
Right.
No,
the issue that PlayStation has in general, that PlayStation has, is that as opposed to the other platform holders, they are primarily dependent on third party for the majority of their revenue and profits. They don't have
Their life.
they don't have one of those big games, or like one of those big live service games, or one of those big games that just gives them, that's like just like prints money for them. So that's why you have this big live service push, is because they need one or two of those games. Does Nintendo have one of those games? No, but their business model is unique in that every first party game they release has an extremely high attach rate on their console, whereas PlayStation doesn't have that extremely high attach rate when it comes to their exclusive. They sell well, but not relative to the amount of hardware that they sell. So they're trying to get to a place where they have their own game that they can rely on for as a revenue stream, as opposed to it being a Call of Duty or a Fortnite or a Apex Legends. They want one of their own. So that's why you're getting like Concord and Marathon and all, they want their own. They want their own Minecraft. They want their own Fortnite. They want they want their own Roblox. They want their own. So that's kind of what that
Why
is.
So then why didn't they just choose to bring back SOCOM? Like, why is
Man, it's a
not
tough
ready?
question,
That-
man.
that-
That's a tough question, man.
That's a good one.
Like,
Yeah,
You know-
I don't really have an answer.
All right, so and I agree with you, because they did it with Helldivers, and Helldivers, not necessarily a dead IP, but it was a smaller IP.
Niche.
It was
niche, yeah.
it was a smaller niche IP, but it already had an audience. So once you decided to make Helldivers 2, you already have an audience attached to your game. If they showed Killzone or SOCOM, there's automatically a grassroots level of marketing and excitement for Twisted any of those games. If you would have chosen any one of those games, it would have it would have resonated better. Not saying it would have been successful, but it would have resonated better with this initial announcement than a game like Concord, like trying to do something new and kind of force these new IP live service games down people's throats when they haven't necessarily been what you're known for.
And it's an
Yeah.
Overwatch clone, especially. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean
Agreed.
that's what Marvel Rivals is, and
I don't know if I'm gonna honestly play that because I don't really like Overwatch, man.
But
Like,
But the thing is, Marvel Rivals didn't that kind of start off as a mobile game? Wasn't or
well,
doesn't it have a mobile?
Marvel does have their own mobile version.
they
It's
have a
not
bunch
Marvel
of different
Rivals,
Marvel games. It's
Yeah.
not Rivals though.
Okay.
but Marvel Rivals is an Overwatch clone, but it's actually a unique and enough where you actually have like melee based characters, and it is a lot of fun.
Okay.
The closed beta did extremely well.
Oh.
And
So
I
that's why I'm saying like you have a closed beta that did extremely well versus Conquest that is like I don't know, which is like another online game that's a live service. And not only that, you got to pre-order to get into the closed beta. You don't have to do that with Marvel Rivals. So
yeah, so I think the Spider-Man game, especially when I saw the trailer for that, I think the Spider-Man live service game would have been a huge hit. But I think
I don't know why they canceled that.
I know I know exactly why they canceled it. Disney is why they canceled
Budget
it.
slippage.
Disney. I don't even think it's budget. I think what it is that, you know, with it being a live service game, and Spider-Man being basically like one of Disney's biggest IP, if not their biggest IP currently.
Mhm.
Like the negotiating terms with that, and you know how much percentage they would need of every sale and every transaction that took place on the game, and how often Sony would have to go back to renegotiate, or how often
Right.
Disney could force a renegotiation. I think that killed the game way more than the budget. Like,
And I
was the one who
honestly,
owned it.
it comes down to the ROI because ROI on live.
Yeah,
service
that's what I'm
games is
saying.
Not immediate. It takes a long time to get your.
so like if Disney saw a certain amount of dollars coming in, they're like, whoa, we don't really like this royalty split. We have to renegotiate now, and you don't have a choice to in the matter because it's in the contract. You know that's probably what killed it. I'm telling you.
I mean, I thought Sony was the one that actually owns Spider-Man, and that's why they hold on to him for dear
No,
life.
Disney owns Spider-Man. Sony owns the film
the
rights.
movie rights.
They own the
Yep.
film rights. They don't own the IP itself.
Oh,
So
that's an interesting dynamic.
yeah. So it's like a good example as something that we're familiar with. Xbox owns Call of Duty. Ubisoft owns the cloud rights to Call of Duty.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like that.
I got you. Publishing rights is
No, not publishing, just cloud rights.
just cloud rights. Yeah, no, I got you. I'm relaying back to Sony. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Honestly, Sony, I thought Sony was good at making like really cool like story-based driven games, and even back in the PlayStation 2 era, that was like some of the most creative games I've ever seen on the PlayStation 2 lineup.
Yeah. And
They had-
and what people don't know is that Disney and Sony currently have a horrible relationship over Spider-Man in particular.
yeah, because Sony won't let it go.
No, not because they won't let it go. It's because of negotiations. How Sony hardballed them with the Avengers movies.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so they don't really have the best relationship at the moment. When it comes to Spider-Man in particular.
that's unfortunate. Sony, good luck to you guys. I don't know. Concord did not look like a game I want to play, and honestly, I played enough live service games. Not my fair share.
It's difficult to balance a game like Concord and Helldivers 2, right?
You say it's difficult to can you repeat that question?
To balance between the two. Like,
It's not only that, but
one-
like a lot of people already
One game is more than enough, right?
The most live service games you can really like be like your best at is probably like 2 or 3 at a time. It's probably 2 tops because there's such a time commitment to like
to get all the best gear, grind all that stuff.
It's either a time commitment or it's an extreme financial commitment. It's one of the two. You're not getting by.
Yeah. And it's like I get like I will say that I noticed that like sometimes live service PvE games are starting to become more popular because it's like you're not competing against someone else, so you can someone go on your own place. But even still, like if they when they like put stuff on time constraints and lock it, like Warframe with their Prime Warframes, they will release them for a certain amount of time. After that, they vault them away, and you gotta wait God knows 6 or 7 months for that same Prime to come out. Like it's the time. It's just it's like we only got so much time in a day, and I understand like maybe Gen Alpha that's currently growing up, but hey, they're not even on consoles; they're on their goddamn iPhones and iPads and all the other stuff before they even reach goddamn consoles. So it's kind of
Exactly.
Like
even with something like with Destiny, like bro, like when I was in my Destiny grind, I ain't play shit else because I just didn't have
and
time. I could not.
I'll put it in context to the game I play, Madden, my live service game, that my Vice. If I decided to jump into Ultimate Team right now and I wanted to be competitive, I would have to spend thousands of dollars.
Disgusting.
If,
That's
can't
disgusting.
do it.
like if I jumped in early in the year, maybe not so much because you can grind Ultimate Team enough to where you get like a certain character. So you might only spend like a couple $100. But if I decided that like I wanted like a 90 overall team today, yeah, I'm spending a couple $1,000. Easy.
Yeah.
Because you got to keep buying packs until you get the certain amount of characters. And there are people who literally spend thousands of dollars a year on packs in Madden Ultimate Team, and they do the same thing in VC. Like if you want to be good at NBA 2K day one, you probably spend about $300, like just to have a good rating. Not the tattoos, not because I spent $100 on VC, and my dude was I think my dude was like an 81. He was still ass, still couldn't make a shot, couldn't dribble for shit. Yeah. I'm done with that. That's what made me be done with 2K, because I don't even play 2K for the live service. I play 2K specifically for the career mode. And when
Moment to moment gameplay.
yeah, I play it just for the career mode. Like that's it. Like just to go through the seasons. I don't play it to play against other people, and I just want my guy to be nice. I just want to be able to do a little crossover, step back, fade away. And if you're telling me I got to spend like $100+ just to do that, or I spend $100 and my character's still ass, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, Sony, good luck on your live service game. If it fails, it's your fault. Just giving you a heads up. Also, you shouldn't show another live service game with your live service game, because especially Marvel Rivals that actually had good reviews after this closed beta, and you didn't even get a lot of people get to touch your game yet, and people got to pre-order just to touch it. Not a good. It's not going well for you. You're finding it's not even an uphill battle. It's like you're climbing a wall.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if they get the ship right back with Helldivers, I think they do have their live service game. But the only thing with I have to see how they monetize Helldivers over time, though, because they have to find a way to monetize it eventually.
I mean, there's a way to so a lot of people try to say it was battle passes. Not really. I don't consider them battle passes. What you can do is you can buy new progression trees, and it looks like there's going to be future progression trees. It's similar to Helldivers 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where well, not as Helldivers 1 because you got direct contact as soon as you could directly buy the weapons. But they said that basically they're going to introduce more weapon trees, and once you buy the pack, you can spend those coins to level it up. It's a pretty unique. It's a pretty decent.
If they have a system, I just want to throw this out there. If they have a system with different types of enemies, right? We've got like the Terminids. We've got what was the bug names? Terminids.
Those little insect things. We're still missing 2 factions from Helldivers 1 that have
right. But I'm saying like, if they try, and I don't know if this sounds far fetched to you, I feel like you could introduce other IPs as enemies, like dinosaurs from Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that's super interesting type of stuff where you could start to explore, kind of like how Fortnite has just completely changed the landscape by saying we're not doing that anymore. This is a completely new thing with new mechanics. I feel like Helldivers is made for that. Like if I saw that you could fight any of the enemies from Horizon. I'd be like, yo, let me
I
log
don't-
right back in. Final Fantasy could wait a moment. It would be that exciting.
I'll say I don't even
Yeah,
know
just
what
watching-
Fortnite is anymore. Like Fortnite is not.
Yeah.
Fortnite is not a battle royale. They're not a battle royale game.
Platform,
They're a platform now. They have like several games inside of Fortnite now.
Fortnite is literally trying to compete with Roblox.
Yeah, they got the
Funniest
they got the
thing.
Lego stuff. They got a bunch of.
They're well, if they open up that Unreal Engine 5 engine and make like a dumbed down version for these kids to make their own games and servers like Roblox, they could be a good competitor. It will be a decent competitor because right now Roblox is killing it, and the Roblox literally they recreated Call of Duty. That honestly plays better than Call of Duty. They actually one person is working on recreating a little bit of a Fortnite version.
Before I did this show, I went upstairs and my kid was playing some airplane game in Roblox.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally an engine for you to create anything.
Yeah,
And I know that's what Epic Games is trying to do with Fortnite to introduce everyone to the Epic's game, the Unreal Engine to make these games on our platform and have that community come in.
The issue that Fortnite has is their graphical standard, whereas like Roblox doesn't really have this high end graphical standard.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Unreal Engine 5 is demanding on and especially on phones as of right now, which is I don't know why they stuck with
like
that.
they need some real cookie cutter development tools.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
probably catch up to Roblox.
They need for it to be able to run on Snapdragon chips because that's like literally the best mobile gaming chips right now is Snapdragons.
Yeah.
So but yeah, Fortnite's not Fortnite. Good luck to them too.
All right. So now we got all our state of play reactions in. We can jump on over into our final topic of today. Supposed to be our most exciting topic, our main event. We're at showcase season. That doesn't just speak to Xbox. We're at Summer Games Fest, Ubisoft Forward. Got a lot of shows coming this week. It is Gamers Paradise this week, as far as seeing all the games that'll be coming out that we can look forward to. And with that said, I kind of want to get people's expectations, what they would love and hate to see this week. It doesn't. Everyone's here is not an Xbox fan, so I don't want to limit the show. I don't want to limit this topic just to Xbox. If there's a publisher or a developer that that really resonates with you and you would like to see them at some point during this week of shows, throw those out there too. Just go on things you would love to see this week. And I think I'll start off the way we started. The people who got here first, order of who came in first. So I'm gonna throw it down to Kofi. Kofi, what are you looking forward to this week? Summer Games Fest plus Xbox.
Man, I really don't know a lot of what is to be even expected. I've been under
so if you don't have any expectations, you can just go what you love and hate to see.
Yeah, I would hate to see. I don't know if there's really anything that like I'm just kind of browsing things that I might have missed. But I don't really have an expectation, and to be honest, I feel kind of happy about that. I definitely cannot set myself up for disappointment.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll take a back seat on this one just because I've really been under a rock trying to get through games.
There's no developer that's like you've had your eye on for a while. You've been waiting to see something on a particular game that you would like to see at this.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And, I know one of you guys is going to get the name. It's a action RPG. It's an action game with RPG elements that's getting released by Capcom.
That's not.
Omar, you might know this one.
That's not Metaphor, is it? I thought Metaphor.
No, that's Atlas. That's Atlas.
No, Metaphor is from
Atlas.
Atlas.
Atlas. So the big JRPGs that I can think
It's
of.
called like Tommy or gosh. I know when you guys see it, you be like, "Oh yeah, that game like hot."
Is that the one that's supposed to go in Game Pass day one? They showed on the Xbox show
Maybe.
last year.
Maybe.
I can't think of it. But
let's see.
Oh, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it is.
that's a Game Pass game. Yeah, it's a new IP.
Yeah, that's one game I definitely want to see a little bit more of.
Yeah. All right. So
Is that a multiplayer game?
no, I think it's a JRPG type thing.
Yeah, I think it's an action game with
I don't
RPG.
recall it, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it showed on the Xbox stage last year. Xbox's last showcase.
Yeah. Oh, I see it. I found it on Steam. Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess.
Yeah.
2024 release.
in chat,
Action
please?
strategy tower defense. 3D lore rich. A tower
you type in
defensive
chat,
strategy
please?
game.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Yes, it is on PC. It is oh, it's a tower defense game with actually like live actions where you can take control of the characters.
Yeah, I think they showed two games at the Xbox show. One's going into Game Pass, one wasn't, and I think that one is.
It is. You're right.
Yeah.
It is
It's
going
an
to
interesting tower defense game that you guys to take control of your character. Combat looks not too bad. I mean, it looks decent.
I haven't seen anything from that game since that showcase, so it
did have another showing.
It did.
I
just didn't see it.
2024. That's all I have is 2024.
I'll
tell you the exact date.
It'll probably drop in October. Most games that drop in the fall, they drop right as the holiday season kicks off. So I would guess probably October. That would be my guess.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I could definitely take a look at the game. The game has beautiful graphics. Doesn't look like it's too hard to run on even older hardware. So yeah. Okay.
All right. So Path of the Goddess. Anything else besides Path of the Goddess?
I guess that's it for me. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like for example, Little Nightmares 3 is coming out this October. I'd love to see a little more Little Nightmares. I know Omar is a big fan of Little Nightmares.
Yeah, Visions of Mana dropping next month.
Yeah. So
oh yeah, I forgot about Visions.
Visions of Mana.
Little Nightmare 3 is actually now 2025 title.
Oh, it got delayed. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it got delayed.
You got Visions of Mana dropping. No, it drops this month. I think it drops on the 25th, right?
No, Little Nightmare is delayed.
No, I'm talking about Visions of Mana. I think it drops on the 25th.
Oh yeah, Visions of Mana is dropping this month. Yeah.
Yeah, 20.
Dang, I forgot about that. It drops in June.
Yeah, that's the wordplay here. The rebirth of an IP at Square Enix.
Yeah.
So interesting to see that one. I think you'll see that at the Xbox showcase because I think Xbox has the marketing to that one. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of any other near-term JRPGs that are coming out. Just Metaphor, Visions of Mana.
So I do have one there. Well, two that are coming in July. But one is Japan only. So I've kind of already like decided that that's getting imported.
Yeah,
it's coming out in October in the US, and then there's something else coming out in July. Oh, well, of course, there's Trails. I have to like take a moment to celebrate that Trails Through Daybreak is one of the most mature Trails games ever released, and it takes place in a new region of this massive story that stars a character who has no issue working with evil people. He's kind of like a problem solver who can do the dirty work for people who might be criminals, people who might be in political power, people who might be do-gooders. It doesn't really matter. So it's really
gonna be divisive then.
So no, this particular game is going to be well reviewed. The next game, maybe not so much, but we'll talk about that maybe next year. But yeah, Trails Through Daybreak is going to be a hit. Falcom fans are salivating, and they should be. So I probably will take a moment to hype that game up. This is one of the fan-translated games that I worked on back in 2020. It is an excellent game. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Oh.
Actually, it was 2021. Came out 2020. I'm sorry.
All right. And let's see. Omar. Expectations this week. And what would you love or hate to see? Expect, love, and hate to see.
So I don't have that much expectation. Um, Partly because everything that I've wanted have already either come out or about to come out. Um, as for what I would love to see, so Jeff Keighley had a Q&A about the show, and he said, so the following, confirmed, no Kingdom Hearts 4, okay, no Wolf Among Us 2, hype level is at 8 out of 10 for this show for him. The show is largely focused on announced stuff. The show on Friday will be about 2 hours, and they're not gonna focus on games that are way off, like 2026, 2027. And no big one more thing. So he's going very temper at the expectation with this one, which I'm fine with. I love honesty over, hyping things up only for it to not work out. Other than that, I'm genuinely just looking forward to indies.
Okay.
Like lots and lots of indies that are revealed. We need information on. Time Spinner 2, Grind 2,
Yeah.
Eternal Noctis sequel. Like lots of indies have the time to shine. And with Jeff Keighley saying focusing on announced stuff could make me question. Are we gonna see the new game from are we gonna see Pragmata? Are we gonna see the new game from the creator of Bioshock? I know they showed it, but are we gonna go and get an in-depth look about it?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Also, we already have a metaphor showcase announced, so that's also exciting. But to be honest, we've seen so much from a metaphor. I don't think a showcase is needed. But hey, it exists.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm super excited to see what the fuss is about with these games.
All right. And Jubei. Yeah, Nappy was last, right? So,
Yes.
Jubei,
Yeah.
big week for you. As a can I call you Captain Xbox or that's still
Nope.
dead? All right.
Nope.
Formerly Captain Xbox.
Formerly
Not
Captain
Captain
Xbox.
X.
What happened?
You're not.
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
He was not happy about the Tango GameWorks closure.
Oh yeah, that made me sad. I wasn't even here to talk about that.
Yeah.
That made me sad too. So wait, are you giving up your Xbox or what's going on?
No, he just dropped the Captain Xbox title following the Tango game, following the Tango GameWorks closure.
Right now.
But yeah, so Xbox is having what should be the biggest single showcase probably in gaming history, with all the publishers and the size and scale that they are under one roof, and kind of all the games that are approaching the end of their development. So what are your expectations going into this showcase week?
I'm still in my zero mode. I want 70 games, bro. I need it.
70
Whoa.
games. God damn, man.
I don't think you're getting.
Well,
I don't.
Games.
All right.
I mean, there's been.
All right, so
it's time to
It's being petty right now.
I'm not.
wait.
I'm not gonna say that you're not gonna get 70 games. I'm not gonna say I don't think that's realistic. And the reason I'm gonna say the reason I don't want to say that whether or not I think it's realistic or not is Xbox has yet to put out a runtime for their show.
Yep.
So, like, the show could literally be like 2 hours for all we know at this point.
What are they really showing for Call of Duty?
What we do.
Black Ops 6. Something with Black Ops 6. I know that's there for a fact.
Well,
I know.
Black Ops 6 is after the show. They have their own show after the show.
Is it going to be as long as the Starfield?
Kind of like Starfield was only like 45 minutes, right? It was like 30, 45 minutes of just that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So what we do know in regards to Xbox is the show starts at 1 Eastern Standard Time, and Phil Spencer is scheduled to talk with IGN at 3:30. So we could have a 3-hour show between that.
Great.
Between Call of Duty, but between the Xbox showcase and the Call of Duty Direct, it could be a 3-hour show almost.
3 hour tells me 70 games.
So you might get your 70 games.
That's all he cares about, 70 games.
Yep. So I absolutely need. What?
This is like published by Xbox or like some third party?
No, they won't all be published by Xbox. I'll tell you that much. Unless it's legacy titles. Okay, 70 games.
Yep. I need to see something Japanese related. Don't care what it is.
Well, you got.
Like, I need to see it.
You got Visions of Mana and Metaphor. Xbox has the marketing for those, and you got the Capcom game.
I don't think that's gonna be at the showcase though, unless they have the marketing for.
They do. They have the marketing rights for Metaphor. They have the marketing rights for Metaphor, Visions of Mana.
We already have announcements that Metaphor is getting its own showcase.
It doesn't mean it won't. It doesn't mean it still won't show up on their stage.
Yeah.
I
need to see
what was it? Final Fantasy Rebirth. They showed up on PlayStation and they showed up on Summer Games Fest. That's common.
All right. So I need 70 games. I also need to see updates from all of their studios and what they're working on. This is not the time to not show something. I don't care how far even into the future it is. I don't care if it's concept art. I need to know more about Everwild. I need to know more about South of Midnight. I need to know more about State of Decay 3. Like, this is the time to show all that shit.
Okay.
Holy shit, I forgot about State of Decay 3.
Yeah, there's so much.
Forgot about it too.
God damn.
You might get
that was
you might get like 2 of those. Okay. And what else? What else would it take you to reclaim your Captain Xbox title?
Gears 6 running at 60 FPS and Unreal Engine 5. Show me.
I do want to see a Gears 6 showing that makes me feel like it's 2006 again or 2005.
Yep.
Again.
All right.
Yep. That's exactly what I want. I need a flagship experience.
All right. So
I mean,
Gears 6, you're definitely gonna get that.
Xbox One. Like it cannot be on Xbox One like at all.
Well,
Xbox
has already abandoned the Xbox One as far as new titles. What new title have they put on Xbox One recently?
I don't know. And then I need to see something Halo related.
I completely forgot.
Oh, you're gonna get something Halo related. You're gonna get something in all their live service games are gonna get some type of screen time.
I need Sea of Thieves to have another crossover with some other pirate related thing. Fuck it, bro. Like we've gotten Pirates of the Caribbean. What's another like Pirates property?
You might get Omar's dream of One Piece.
One Piece? Oh, bruh.
Now that it's on PlayStation, yeah, you might get the One Piece.
Make it happen.
Because that'll get the sales.
Listen, if it does, I'm spending bread.
they might jump this. They might jump the 60 million players if they get One Piece because they're already at like 30 million people have played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
So they might get.
I just think
they might get a whole another 30. Between PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, yeah, they might get like 60. All right. What would you hate to see at the Xbox showcase? Or any of these showcases?
What I hate to see, or at any of the showcases, I don't want to see CGI, to be honest, bro. Show me in engine, show me something. You know, after what Hellblade just did, like, make it happen. Don't care.
Okay.
I don't want to see like that. The beginning for Concord, that was, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. The game is not going to look like that when they jump the game in. No, the game did not look like that. So that whatever.
But Hellblade did visually represent what you got.
It did.
So you can't blame the CGI trailer for that. Just saying.
Well, guess what? They never said it was CGI.
Yeah, but you just said I don't want to see no Hellblade situation again. I was like, well, you got
no. I just
you got the visual.
Hellblade was in engine.
Okay.
Hellblade was in engine.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
You're gonna show it. Show me something that's actually an engine. I don't want to see no pre-rendered blob and the game don't look like that.
Okay. I got you.
Tell us the truth for fucking once. We definitely don't need another Watch Dogs situation.
All right.
Nah, it's the time for CGI has passed. You have to have something built in engine at this point.
You're basically asking for a live demo.
Yeah, something.
I think that's reasonable.
Demo, but like, even if as long as it's in engine, it can still be a cutscene, bro. But I don't want no pre-rendered garbage that's not what the game's.
That's not the final product.
Don't sell me on that.
You don't want you don't want a Concord 7-minute video and 3 minutes of gameplay that looks totally different. I got you.
Exactly. Because the production values in the little whole talking sequence was crisp. But I also know the game is not going to be like that, and we're probably not even going to get a mode where these characters interact like this because it's a hero shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to get that. We're going to get a cutscene at the beginning, whatever season they're going, and then that's it. That's it for that.
Yeah.
We know what the game looks like. So don't don't try to sell us some bullshit. I didn't even know Concord was going to even be a hero shooter until they showed that shit. I'm like, this is dumb.
I just knew it was going to have a jiggling cheeseburger.
I mean, I thought it was going to be something like a Guardians of the Galaxy like kind of thing where you have to manage a crew and shit. Like the door was open for that. We didn't get that.
You still have to manage a crew. It's your friends.
No. There is no managing crews in Overwatch. It's nothing but lone.
You're hilarious. It's in your friends. I love that,
but you might get like some space battles in Concord. You know.
Absolutely not. How you gonna do space battles with 5v5, bro? Ain't gonna happen.
You got little four gun turrets on the spaceship and the pilot.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not. That is not gonna be a thing.
Hey, I'm just trying to give the game some life.
Bad enough, everybody's gonna be like the same characters, like on top. Like I'm just over it. Like, this is dumb.
Okay. So you would hate.
So I don't want to see junk like that. I want to see in-engine or alpha footage. Show me that. Don't show me no bullshit.
Okay. All right. And
if you got bullshit to show, then show me some concept art and give me a time frame for when we should expect to see some shit.
And I guess my last question for you will be: the Xbox showcase will fail Jubei if they blank.
If I don't, oh God, man, I don't want to set myself up like that. I do not want to set myself up like that.
I don't believe this one's gonna fail.
No, I'm saying I don't think the showcase is gonna fail, but I'm saying the show it's a personal fail. The Xbox showcase will fail Jubei
if we don't see a completely remastered Gears trilogy. I'm just playing.
Gears of War 3, please, for the love of God, Gears of War 3.
Yeah, I honestly wanted a remake of 2. Like, we got the Ultimate Edition of 1.
Yeah, I'm with you. 1, 2,
with
and
the
3,
PC
man.
with the PC only levels that were finally put.
All right, so I think the community has been asking for it long enough that I think Xbox will capitulate. I mean, Gears has been kind of quiet for a while. Coalition has been quiet for a while. You might get what you've been asking for.
Fucking better.
Yeah.
Well,
and then I was also gonna say, show me that handheld, but I can't say I'm gonna automatically fail the show if everything else is amazing and I don't see the handheld. That's why I couldn't say that.
Well, they said you're gonna see hardware this year, so you might get your you might get your handheld.
I'm really curious because
I want
Snapdragon chip
hardware, and I just want a teaser of
well.
Next.
Even if the hardware doesn't release this year, if they can just show the form factor and
Yeah, Show me the form factor of your next.
And
gen
it
console.
can release late next year. Honestly,
It's coming out 2026, bro. We know this.
the handheld the handheld doesn't necessarily have to be
The
considered.
handheld is going to be tied into next gen.
I'm
It's not
just
just going to be a handheld.
It's
People are willing to pay $800 for one of these
all right.
handhelds.
I
bro.
hear.
I would
No-
say 800.
Well,
No,
the new
that's how-
Asus is 800.
That's how much.
All
That's
right.
how much the new the Ally X is. It's $800, $799
So
yeah,
for 120 hertz screen and some other shit. Like
all right.
it's an $800
that
handheld.
It's because of that Snapdragon chip. It's
Okay.
not going to sell for 800.
So
But it is. That's what it's retail. What do you mean it's not going to sell for 800? They've already
That's
announced the price for it.
They did.
yeah,
Yes.
they already. Yes, it's
$799.
it's black and it's $799. It's up for pre-order. But
Snapdragon
what I'm saying with the handheld, I think Xbox is trying to guide the industry in a direction where there aren't generations anymore, where there's backwards and forwards compatible, kind of like cell phones. You don't really count cell phones by generations. It's just like new models out. So I don't think they're necessarily tied to the generation lingo that the gaming industry has been tied to for the past 30 years. So they might release this handheld and not necessarily consider it quote unquote next generation per se. Just saying. But yeah. Nappy. King of the PCs. King of the mobile. The man who eats all games.
King of the mobile. The king of the mobile now. Dang.
So, I mean, you buy a new mobile controller every week, we see a new one, so might as well give you the label.
Okay.
What would you love, hate, and expect to see this week during these round of showcases?
Honestly, I'm kind of like Kofi, where I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you. Like one thing for Xbox, because I've been diving into the mobile division and I've been in the background. I got some shares in Microsoft, and their shares have been going up because they're trying to hint towards this new Snapdragon device. So, and I know the Snapdragon chip is now like the Snapdragon X is supposed to be like this really powerful chip.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you guys say y'all paying $800 for that shit for a Snapdragon chip that's usually mobile, that's usually like a mobile chip.
I'm just talking about the new Ally. I don't know what chip the new Ally uses. I just know it's $799.
No, so the Ally uses a straight up AMD chip.
Yeah,
it's a full fledged CPU and a full fledged APU.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm not sure.
The Snapdragon is not a full fledged APU on APU level.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this new Ally is $799. So
I'm about to say, so like if it like that makes sense because that's like that's basically like an APU. That actually is like a straight up like laptop chip that you will normally find in laptops, like gaming laptops or entry level gaming laptops.
I don't think the new Xbox handheld is gonna be using a Snapdragon. I think it's gonna be using the same type of chip that the Asus is using. Personally, the Surface team, the Surface team is what's making it. So they're not.
Like I said, everyone says I've been getting hints towards it being a Snapdragon chip. So if it's a Snapdragon chip, that's more so of a mobile chip.
Actually, if it's Surface team, we might be looking at Intel, to be honest. Didn't they have like a partnership with Intel?
All right, so the Intel the partnership that they have with Intel is that Intel will manufacture Microsoft's custom designed AI chips. So Microsoft is making their own AI chips that Intel will manufacture. That was my understanding of that deal that they have with Intel.
I wouldn't be surprised if this handheld is very AI focused as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if you actually look at it, like believe it or not, the Galaxy S24 and stuff is heavily AI focused, and they're using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chips to power everything. And those are like that's literally the most powerfulest chip we got. And well, actually, I take that back. Snapdragon I forgot what it was called. Snapdragon X Gen 2, which is now like the most powerful Android chip you can get. And it can play some pretty decent games and some pretty high qualities, and it's so that's why I'm just like shocked because I've been hearing a lot of rumors about it being a Snapdragon chip inside this Xbox handheld, which lets me know like it's focused towards mobile, which kind of opens up the idea of okay, so it can't play like AAA titles, but it's strong enough to go all the way back to like the 360 era, especially Xbox Arcade can run on a Snapdragon chip. So I'm curious if they're going to try to revive some of their old Xbox Arcade games, which can convert them over to this handheld. That will honestly be a steal because I still got a lot of Xbox Arcade games when I used to on my 360 that I
Well,
have not played.
the Snapdragon might be they regret leaving the phone industry. Might be.
Well, like I mean, they do a gaming phone. I mean, we do have multiple gaming phones. We actually have 3 gaming phones right now. So
Yeah,
we have the Red Magic 9.
They've said pretty recently, well, quite a lot. They've harped on the fact that they regret leaving the cell phone manufacturing business. So I mean,
if it's a cell phone, they're going back to the cell phone business, I guarantee you it's going to be a Snapdragon chip. Then that is hands down going to be the new latest grade Snapdragon chip that's going to power that thing.
I'm just saying it's possible.
So, like I said, so I'm like curious about their handheld because then also Sony's going back into their handheld market, which I'm okay with as long as you don't fuck it up like you did the Vita. Such a fucking waste of potential. So but other than that, like I said, I just want to see some indie games. I want to see what games are coming to PC. Something new. I don't know if I really want to see Wukong because I know Wukong's coming out. That Wukong game's coming out. That monkey.
Yeah, Black Myth. Yeah, that comes out I think in August. Am I right with that one? I think it comes out in August.
Yeah.
You don't want to see it now?
No, I mean I kind of do, but I guess
that will definitely be in the Summer Games Fest. Black Myth Wukong will definitely be in the Summer Games Fest.
I want to see like a walkthrough of like a demo walkthrough or something like that. That's more so what I want to see.
It'll definitely be there in some capacity.
As of right now, like as far as like new games, there's not really much I'm like that got me like going, that got me excited. There's not too many games like that right now. I'm open minded to see like what's going to show up because I don't expect much from AAA. Like I said, the most excited game that gets me excited right now is the Monster Hunter Wilds, but that's 2025, early next year. So I don't have a reason to buy a game. There's nothing that makes me want to say I want to buy a game for the rest of this year as of right now.
Okay. All right. So is there any game that you would just love to see in particular? It could be a surprise game that, you know, remake, a sequel.
I mean, like I said, I mean, a Gears game would be awesome. I don't know. I mean, I would love, like I said, I already said that
you're gonna see Gear 6. That's almost guaranteed that Gear 6 is gonna be there. So we already know we're gonna see.
Gears game would be good. Fable, that would be something. I haven't heard shit about Fable ever since they did that little preview. Like, I want to see some like actual gameplay of Fable for once, or like a gameplay demo of that. I mean, yeah, like besides that's the one thing I can really think of that like off the top of my head that I'm just like, oh my god, it's like kind of like, yeah. If it's not Fable, if it's not
Fable's gonna get their own direct, I think.
If it's not like any, like I can't really think of any first parties that I'm just like dying hard to wait for. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, I already know obviously Call of Duty 6 Black Ops. I mean, I'm kind of curious about that because Modern Warfare 3 was such a flop.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, if they tie that goddamn game into that Call of Duty launcher.
I admittedly have never played a Call of Duty game before. Like, I've never touched a Call of Duty game ever.
Black Ops was actually really has a really
when Black Ops 6 comes out, I will check out the campaign. I'm not getting sucked up in the competitive PvP, all that shit.
We don't even know if it's going to get a campaign.
It's getting a campaign. look at the marketing. It's getting a campaign. It's definitely gonna have a campaign. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Like I said, but I mean, right now the biggest thing is I'm curious about this mobile. Like the biggest thing, honestly, for Xbox right now was I was curious about this mobile division because they put a lot of money. Microsoft has put a lot of money into the mobile division, and I'm want to know what the hell they plan on doing. So
They
that's just out of curiosity, and honestly, that's for me to see if my shares are going to go up or down.
they're gonna reach 2 billion gamers. That's their goal. So let's see. I'm pretty excited for the show. Like I said, I think this is the showcase of all showcases for Xbox in particular. I think I've said it a couple shows ago. Now that they have ABK, Bethesda, and Xbox Studios under one roof, this showcase is kind of a put up or show up to the gaming community. I think if they do not have a home run showcase, that they pretty much don't stand a chance of ever reclaiming any type of hardware market share. I'll be straight up and say they might grow Game Pass to whatever, but I don't think people will be lining up in droves to get a Xbox anytime soon. If this showcase is not, because this showcase is gonna have eyes that it didn't necessarily have before. So I think it's very big for them in that case. Let's see.
What about for you personally? So you really liked Hellblade 2. Is there something that you personally want to sit down and play that, or want to hear about from any developer?
So for me personally, there's a lot of games that Xbox is coming out that me personally don't necessarily resonate with me based on just the style of game it is. I'm not a big first person gamer. I've always said I'm not a big first person gamer. And
Right.
and Xbox has decided to go the route. A lot of their studios are currently making a lot of first person games, even if they're RPGs. Like Indiana Jones is first person. I'll check it out. And I'm
Not your thing.
not necessarily, but I do. I have played some first person games and I've thoroughly enjoyed them, like Prey. I loved Prey. And that was a first person game. It's just not necessarily those type. I don't find the level of engagement that I would like that I feel when I get a third person story driven game. I feel more engaged in a third person story driven game than I do a first person. That's just my personal experience. So
Did you end up liking Starfield?
I decided to wait to play Star. I played a little bit, like I played like an hour of Starfield, but then I was like, I'll wait. And then after they announced this particular update with the 60 frames per second, and that they're going to be doing like land vehicles in the next update that's coming this fall, I'm going to wait for Shattered Space, and then I'll dive into Starfield. Once they have all the land vehicles and everything else like that, I'll fully dive into it. I did play it. I like the mechanics of what I played so far, and the story like started off in a way that I could kind of vibe with, but I didn't fully dive into that game yet.
Wasn't getting you off the couch.
No, I just wanted to wait because I know how Bethesda does their thing, that they, you know, the game that they release is not necessarily their final product, anything close to it. So I decided to wait on that a little bit. And I did like their third person mode, and I did like switching back into first person for certain aspects. It felt really good.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
So there are mechanics to Starfield that I like. I just wanted to wait for certain things that I knew were coming. So, but as far as like I believe at the last event that Matt Booty, Xbox, and not Xbox, Phil Spencer, and the Trinity, those three were at together. I believe they said they were releasing 7 games this year, and I think 4 of them we already know: Stalker, Stalker 2,
Hellblade.
Indiana Jones.
I think Towerborn's coming this year too.
Towerborn. So I think there's like there's 3 games that we don't know about.
And the clock, I think.
Yeah, we believe Clockwork is releasing this year, but we don't know for sure. I do think.
Oh, wait, really?
And Avowed. And
Yeah, but
Avowed.
Avowed is already announced. Yeah, Avowed is coming out this year. So the 3 games that I'm expecting to see, one is Contraband. Avalanche just had a bunch of layoffs, which leads me to believe that whatever project they were working on is done, and they can no longer afford to maintain the staff and the offices that were creating those games. So I expect to see Contraband at this show, and I expect Contraband to have a release date. And the other 2 games is probably Clockwork Revolution, and I guess this will go into what I would love to see. I would love to see Perfect Dark maybe released this year. Maybe. It's a lot. It's a lot to release 7 games in the next 6 months, and they all get the proper space they need to breathe.
If that game looks amazing, they could release that anywhere away from other games, and it would be like the moment for it.
Yeah, I would love to see Perfect Dark and it have a release date potentially for this year. And let's see. So those are kind of like my expectations. What I would love to see during this showcase week, I would love to see the return of Sam Fisher. I think it's about time for that. So to get a new Splinter Cell, any type of trailer, just to let us know that it is coming back would be a real win for me. Something else I would love to see. You know what I would really love to see? I want to see the Wu-Tang game that they're working on.
What about Blade?
Blade, I don't expect to see Blade. They just recently showed it at the at the VGAs. They showed it like just a couple months ago. I don't expect to see that game again because what they showed, they basically let us know it was an early concept. So I don't expect to see that game for at least
look like.
I wouldn't expect to see the game for at least another year and a half. Maybe it appears again 2 years from now at the next VGAs at the earliest. So I don't expect to see Blade anytime soon. On the something else I would love to see. I would love to see one of the new mainline Final Fantasy games make their way over to Xbox, whether it be 16 or even like 7 Remake. I would love to see that. I know Square has been working hard to get out of their contracts, and we recently saw Kingdom Hearts finally make its way to Steam. So they got out of that Epic contract. So
yeah, that was always a time exclusive. People are not happy, still not going to buy it. It's kind of no.
Well, they got out of the contract early though. So it's coming to Steam earlier than it was supposed to. So I would like to see some of those Square Enix games make their way to other platforms. Let's see, what else would I love to see? Really, I think just that if I got, because I already know Gears 6 is gonna be there, but if I got a peek at the Wu-Tang game, Square Enix games releasing on more of those releasing on Xbox, and maybe like a Blue Dragon remake announcement. Now that Akira Toriyama has passed, the timing would feel right for that. I think all those would be like pretty cool. What I would hate to see during this show, what I would hate to see during this show? I would hate to see Xbox not announce all those legacy titles into Game Pass. I think all legacy titles need to be in Game Pass after the show on Sunday from ABK. Every game that can make it in there from 360 and up needs to be in there. Outside of like, you know, some licensing agreements, all of them need to be in there. I would hate to not see that. What else would I? Is there anything else? Nah, I think that'd probably be the biggest thing I would hate to see. Because it's just like, you know, why buy ABK if all you're gonna do is get, you know, the titles that are coming out, you know, down the road when they have so many games that are like worth playing right now. And I think that's it. I think that covers my love, hate, and expect to see. What would be a fail for me from the Xbox showcase? Let's see. What would be a fail for me from the a failure for me from the Xbox showcase is if they don't show any game from the launch showcase of the Xbox Series X. They have to show one or two XGS games. So it has to be State of Decay. It has to be well, Outer Wilds 2 wasn't there. It has to be Everwild or something. Like one of those games have to show up at the show. One or two for sure. I think that'd be it. I think that's it for me as far as my expectations going into the show. Let's see. Yobi has some lofty expectations for this showcase. He said he wants a
True Crime 1 and 2 remake.
Yeah, True Crime 1 and 2. He wants Punisher to be done by the Coalition.
Quantum Break 2?
Mech Assault remake, Quantum Break 2, Legacy ABK titles back in the store. A brand new Halo game focused on the
Headhunter Spartans team.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Mech Assault, they could contact the team that was making the game. They're still out there.
Yeah, I mean that is possible for sure. I mean, I would love to see Mech Assault come back. I just don't know how it fits in today's gaming. I don't know like what type of audience would come back to it. But I'm a big Mech Assault fan. I loved Mech Assault. Like me and you.
What's it called? It's not the same game, but the Mech Warrior 5 did get some good support, and the community is pretty much happy with it.
Mech Warrior 5 didn't necessarily have the same pacing as a Mech Assault, though. Mech Assault was more fast. It was more fast paced than.
But I feel like some fans might want that. Like to me, it's like the Forza Horizon.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would love Mech Assault. It's a shame I didn't support Mech Assault 2. I didn't even know they made a Mech Assault 2 at the time when I was younger.
Oh yeah, Lone Wolf, baby.
Yeah, I didn't even know they made that. And I don't. Did you get Mech Assault 2?
I did. I never played it, but I did buy it.
I was about to say, I know me and you both had Mech Assault.
Yeah, OG was great.
You didn't say nothing to me about no Mech Assault 2.
Mech Assault 2 came out, but I think it came out when like there was something else that was just hot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was something else that I was playing.
But yeah. I think Mech Assault 2 was one of my first online games too, Yobi.
Yeah, that and MotoGP.
Yeah. Man. We were some evil bastards on Forza Motorsport back in the day, man. We talked hella shit.
And Project Gotham. That was
Project Gotham. Yeah, we was talking hella shit in them lobbies.
We were.
But good old days.
We all really need to get on No Man's Sky. I just feel like that's the easiest game to jump into.
Did they make it cross-platform or no?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, No Man. I
did jump. I jumped in No Man's Sky. I even streamed it a couple times, and I just found myself like sitting in space for like long periods of time, like traveling from planet to planet.
I think we got to do it as a group. Go do some of the missions as a group.
Oh, okay. I am interested in that one. Isn't the same team that made No Man's Sky making that planet game?
Yeah.
That's like super
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. No. Oh, I know you know this. Nappy.
I want to
It's
see
called
that
like
game
No
again.
Man's. Um.
That big planet game where like you can
Yeah. It's like
like
on one planet instead of in a solar system.
yeah, and like you can like kind of
Big on
search
one.
the whole planet and like do stuff on it. It looked
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it looked really cool in
Looks epic.
concept. I would like to see that game again so I can get like a better feel for it.
The new game. I did hear about the new game that they're working on. I haven't heard anything about it. So, Hello Games.
It's like some huge planet game.
Light No Fire.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is
it's Light
Light
No
No
sounds
Fire.
it.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's Light No Fire. I'm looking at their
Yep.
game page right now, where you can ride monsters and dragons and you explore this giant world.
Yep.
It looks
Yep.
like it actually looks like it is focused on melee combat. Interesting.
Yeah, I want to see that game. I want to play that game. It looks
Final Fantasy
interesting.
Planets the size of Earth. Oh my god, you better not. I swear to God, you you said the size of Earth, man. Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Hey, as long as you got a dragon to fly on to get from point A to point B, you'll find a part of the planet that you like. You don't gotta search the whole thing out.
The game is yet to be announced. You can add it to your wish list.
Better be
you said the
using that
size of-
Google Maps.
You said the size of Earth, man. Are you sure?
Look,
you
man.
guys gotta be careful what y'all say. Remember
I'm
what
not-
they said last time?
But
These thousands planets and
it don't matter. I'm not planning on being on no European man's conquest to go to all four corners of the planet.
As
I'll
long as
I'll find my
as long
corner
as the
that I
planets are
like.
procedurally generated, it's gonna
No
be
man, No Man's Sky looks amazing.
I will find my corner of the planet and I'll stay to it, man. But it looked cool. It looked real cool.
I mean, I'll give it to you, man. We'll have to see.
But
No, I forgot Light No Fire. They haven't they got a trailer. Looks interesting. Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about this game.
a Fantasyland game would be a triple A rated M Ninja Turtles game. That's based on that last Ronin
They are already
comic.
making one, The Last Ronin.
Yeah, they showed it. I would love to see that. That's one I would love to see. Has to be AAA quality though. Has to be AAA. I don't want the cartoon. Like if it's supposed to be like that real gritty type game, I want the AAA budget. I want the UE5 graphics, full next gen. Yeah, I want that. I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, so that'd be cool with me. I think that's about it for me. So unless anyone else has anything else for these showcases, I have not. I don't remember seeing Readyverse. I'll have to look that up after the show. I'll look it up after the show for sure. We're a long ways off from Ready Player One, but when we get there, and I'm like 70 years old and my bones stop working like they used to, I will be all Ready Player One out in whatever world that game is. I think the technology will be there by then.
Trying to get it sorted out online to just lay in bed, put a headset on.
Yeah, when I get 70, that's what I'm trying to be like too. Just like, fuck it. I don't need my body anymore. I got this VR and this haptic suit. I'm good. Maybe one day we'll get there. When I'm in my retirement home. Assisted living, I think is what they call it, right? When you're not like getting beat on by nurses and stuff all day.
No, that assisted living means there's still nurses around. They do have like independent living situations.
Yeah, I need that independent living. Need that.
It's just a bunch of old folks just living in a community, but they're still self-sufficient, at least at that stage.
Yeah, I'm trying to be that in my sugar daddy era of life.
He's sugar daddy era. This man said.
You said what?
He said sugar daddy era.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, you
This
get
man-
you get like 70 years old. You gotta pass your blessings on to the next generation. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Yeah,
bruh.
just screw your kids, huh? What about your kids,
grandfather
man? You
has
having
a son
kids
that
is
just
licking these
turned
hoes.
19, bruh. I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh man.
I'm so much older than my uncle. It's gross. Like I hate it here.
I didn't say I was gonna procreate. Oh man.
Nigga got several kids like that. Like, what are you doing, you old bastard? Like, nah, we don't need that.
Oh man. That's hilarious. But yeah, with that said, let's go into our outros. Man, we appreciate everyone that stayed rocking with us. I hate that I forget to say this early in the show, but if you made it with us this far, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into these outros. Kofi, where can people find you? And is this your last appearance for the next couple months?
Dang.
It's like, will you be back in October, maybe December? Totally valid comment. I hopefully am here now every Monday for the rest of this year.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm really excited to start to use some of my other friends on Twitter to help promote our podcast. I'm thinking we're gonna start to have some more eyes come to see our podcast. So definitely excited about that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to jump on some shows now that the kids are gonna be out of school starting next week. So
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have people like Mooch and Basement Arcade Radio. Wait. Under what is it? Brap.
Basement
yeah,
radio,
yeah.
basement
Yeah,
radio
Brap.
arcade.
Arcade Radio Arcade Podcast. Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
be helping us out getting some visuals on when we start. So excited for that. But yeah, you can catch me on Twitter and talking about imports. We've got a big import coming next month. One big import coming next month, and then some more Trails things that we'll be talking as well. So definitely excited to be back, and thanks for the warm welcome, and glad to talk these topics.
All right. And Omar, where can people find you, and what will you be playing?
Shout out to everyone that came through. Great show, great conversation. Great banter. Hit the like button, share the stream out. You can find me at Caravan the Culture Hub on Twitter and Other Player Podcast every Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit that like button and yeah, see you next week.
All right.
Crazy,
Or
crazy week.
we might be doing a live stream of the Xbox showcase.
Actually, Sunday.
Yeah, we might
catch us Sunday.
Yeah, we'll probably be doing that.
I'm there.
All right, so
I'm there.
I'm gonna be up there with my crew, so enjoy it.
that's fine. As part of promo for us doing the Xbox Live showcase, as opposed to other bigger channels who care about monetization, we have not reached 1,000 subs yet, so we don't give a fuck about monetization.
It got lowered down to
You
500.
gotta be careful because they can't track your channel. That's the only reason I'm not doing it.
We can delete the video later. We only care about the live. We only care about we only care about the live viewers. We will be playing the show in full. We won't be muting any music or nothing like that. So if you want to come through and watch it, if we gotta delete the video later, we'll delete the video. It ain't a big deal. So feel free to come out and have a full experience with our commentary. And with that said, I'm gonna throw this over to Jupe. Where can we find you, and what will you be playing?
Yeah, you find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. I'm gonna be hopping more into Hypercharge. I finished the first level of that. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
I gotta play with you sometime.
It's pretty cool.
You talking V-Rising?
Yeah, I've read good things about it. So
I recommend it. Great game.
Yeah.
Addictive as fuck.
I believe it.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Nappy, where can people find you and what will you be playing?
You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube with my two recent controller reviews that I've done. As far as up and coming new controller reviews, the Hyperkin limited edition, not so limited edition controller with the goddamn sticker that's peeling off on it. It reviews coming out. As far as the mobile gaming side, I think it's time to dive deep into the Backbone controller. So this is the controller that is known to be compatible with Call of Duty Mobile. So a lot of people like this controller just because it's compatible with Call of Duty Mobile. And I think it is time to start diving deeper into Scuff's PC Elite controller. So the Scuff Envision controller that I have for quite some bit, I am going to revisit it and wait for a new shell to come in the mail too, because I want to show off like all the custom shells and the one that I recently purchased for the Scuff controller. Yeah, that's going to be all the controllers that I'm upcoming. That's going to be up and coming in reviews. So yes, okay, Legendary. I know you need a legend. There's a lot of controllers I got.
You said you gotta do a whole showcase. So you got to set up a whole show. You know what I'm saying?
So we need
a controller.
I mean,
the Nappy showcase.
a Nappy showcase. I promise you I will. I just I literally got this other company called Easy SMG or SMX is literally sending me a controller. Like, let me catch up to the controller reviews, man. I got you. I'll give you the showcase.
All right. Hey, you got to
yeah.
reach out to all the vendors. Tell them that you're thinking about doing a hardware showcase on controllers. Never know. Might get some crazy.
Definitely haven't.
Might get some crazy support.
I'm actually happy that companies are reaching out to me. There's noticing my channels. Also, got to be careful. I didn't know that YouTube will. There's a setting in YouTube that allows other content creators to use to clip your videos to make shorts and stuff, which I kind of don't like because they don't fucking tag the original content creators, and I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, so people are making shorts of your content and monetizing you?
Well, they're not monetizing, but what I saw was that someone took like a clip of my damn, what was that controller? This controller. My Bayaton Zeus 2 controller. And I was like, that was from my fucking video. Why is it a short? Now then I looked at my video and I saw that I had it enabled. I'm like, I'm disabling this shit.
People are able. Is it first time they ever do it to you?
So basically it's supposed to allow people to come to your like channel when they grab them from other channels, but I didn't see anywhere where it showed off that like I did the review. So I was like, screw that shit. No, turn that shit off. Don't use my shit and not give me no credit. I worked hard on this damn review.
Yeah, I bet you. I feel it, yeah. All right.
So, but yeah.
All right. And with that said, I just want to thank everyone coming out once again. Thank you for getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
Later.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you